Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there. Sure. Yeah. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here, based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me, absolutely happened to me. For years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Welch's can't make everything make sense. Like why your mom still listens to the radio or what she meant when she sent that emoji. But a zero sugar drink that's still full of fruit flavor, we made that make sense. And strawberry, passion fruit, Concord grape, and more. You gotta sip it to get it. New Welch's Zero Sugar. Let's fruit stuff up.
This week, in Chuluota, Florida, an obsession with a foreign webcam model sends a family into desperation mode to stop their adult son from stealing every dime they have to support his infatuation, leading to some cold-blooded murder and a very strange cover-up plan. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today. On this is a crazy episode. This is one.
Sounds like it. Jesus.
I was telling Jimmy a little just from the intro, but this is one where we weren't going to do Florida for like another month. But this story is so crazy, and I've seen a lot about it, and I've watched this interrogation months ago, and so it's been bubbling, and we're doing it now. So it's a lot of fun. Before we get to that, though, just want to say head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets for live shows, especially September the 20th, Minneapolis. At the State Theater. It's a beautiful theater. Way too nice for us. We can't wait to befoul the place. So come join us in messing it up all good and make dick jokes with us there. It'll be a lot of fun. So come there. It'll be our biggest show ever. Also shows in Oklahoma City, Kansas City. More tickets were added there. Austin, Boston, New York. Get your tickets right now. shutupandgivememurder.com. Also, you want Patreon if you want extra stuff. Patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you get all the bonus material. Hundreds of back episodes of bonus stuff you've never heard. You'll get immediately upon subscription. Anybody $5 a month or above.
Yeah.
Skip 1 cup of coffee this month and do yourself a favor. You get easy. You get new ones every other week. 1 crime in sports, 1 small town murder. This week, what you're going to get for crime in sports, we're going to talk about. This is for 4th of July in honor of fireworks accidents.
They're plentiful,
both with sports figures and without sports figures. Just fun. Even our own fireworks accidents.
Yeah.
Jimmie's missing a part of them due to fireworks. It's fun. Then for small
explosions, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, totally. Then for small town murder, we're going to talk about the real tombstone, like the movie you know about. We're going to talk about what kind of happened,
historical shit,
the real ending, and who these people were leading up to it. Because that Wyatt Earp isn't the Wyatt Earp that is the real Wyatt Earp. So. We'll talk
Not
all
as likable and lovable as Kurt Russell, James?
No, he was a pimp, though, for many years. People don't know that. We'll talk all about that and more. Patreon.com/crime in sports is where you get all that. And you get a shout out at the end of the regular show. Also, listen to Crime in Sports and listen to Your Stupid Opinions.
What's wrong
our other 2 podcasts that are very, very funny. By the way, just in case you're a new listener or whatever, you just for everybody. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, whenever they do updates, they kick off the automatic download. So go back in. It's in the upper right-hand corner on our podcast page. When you click on it in your library, upper right-hand corner, ... automatic download. And that way they'll actually download and it'll be easier. So go ahead and do that. That said, disclaimer time.
Hey.
This is a comedy show, everybody. It's also a show about real and awful murder. Right. Both of those things are going to exist on the same plane. How do you do that, you might ask? Well, you do it very, very gently. You gotta walk on cotton balls. But here's what we do here. We never make fun of the victims or the victims' families.
Why is that, James?
Because we are assholes.
But
we're not scumbags. See how that works? There it is. It's as simple as that. There's nothing funny about actual murder, the act of it. Like, hilarious. A knife is plunging into her chest. Hilarious. That's not funny. But it is funny when an idiot says, I think I can get away with this murder. Even though I'm leaving all sorts of evidence everywhere. I think I can do it. That's funny. That's crazy. A police force messes up, lets a murderer go for years and years. That's hilarious. All that stuff here. So if you think true crime and comedy, though, should never, ever go together, maybe we're not for you.
Right.
Maybe we are. I think maybe you should stick around. Sure. Tell you what, no complaining later, though.
There it is.
That said, I think it's time, everybody. Let's do this. Let's all clear the lungs, arms to the sky, and let's all shout. Shut up and give me murder. Let's do this. All right, everybody.
Here we go.
Let's go on a trip, shall we?
Let's go.
We're going on down to Florida, everyone. Here we go. This is, and I got to say it right, Chuluota, Florida.
Yeah.
Which is spelled Chuluota.
Uota.
That's Lee somehow. Chuluota. I don't know. That's just how they say it down there. So it is in central Florida. It's about a half hour outside of Orlando.
Oh.
It's over in that region there. About 2 hours and 45 minutes to Wellington, Florida. Our last Florida episode on Express called The Killer Clown Mystery. Which was nuts. That was the craziest. My nightmare come to life, that was.
I just saw that on a 2020 recently. They just covered it,
I bet we did it better. You should. I bet
we did.
Guarantee it was funnier.
Yeah.
So
it's tough to hear that from fucking that wrinkle face guy. Jesus.
2020 does good work, but they are not funny. I'll say it right now. So this is in Seminole County. It's a small little place too. This is like a very rural place. A lot of the properties are very well spaced out. This does not. This looks like some sort of like back in time place. Okay, it's very strange.
Like what Florida was planned to be.
Exactly what Florida was planned to be, but not outside of the cities. Now the name pronounced Chuluota. It means allegedly Isle of Pines, Pine Island, land of lakes and pines, or beautiful place. They don't know which. So essentially, they have no idea what they're talking about. They just made up a name.
Okay.
They say the pronunciation is a derivative of the Creek Indian word Chulioto. So they're saying this is a derivative of that. Who knows? It was first settled after the Civil War. People came down from North Carolina by ox cart to get away from the war. They were like, get me out of this shit. When they got there, they found that there's a shitload of fish, deer, wild hogs, orange groves. People were opening cattle ranches, and they had sawmills and all this shit. They're like, okay, they started cooking. One of the early developers of the community chose the name of Chuluota, and they said that it was possibly, he told everyone he thought that was the name of the original Seminole village that was there.
I guessed.
Yeah, he just made it up for marketing purposes here. Then the name was continued by the next guy who bought all this land, and he set up a company to sell all this land. And the problem is, though, when this guy died, all of these land plats were still just sitting there unused in the 1950s.
Oh.
So the houses were kind of small and were kind of little working class houses. He just built like a little area that he platted out there. And so that's kind of how it went. And then it kind of died out in the 60s, where in the 50s, I mean, the whole place kind of died out and people stopped coming here. And then by the 60s, they had this big idea to get people to come here. And it was close enough to Orlando. As that came up, Disney World helped it a lot. It made it, So that's how that went. And
then it finally became in demand.
Ever since 2000, it's been kind of booming in population and everything, but still not a lot. Here's some reviews. So maybe some people from here that have a better idea than us. Reviews 5 stars. In Chuluota, there are small stores and restaurants that have surprisingly good food. That's
surprise, good. Surprise.
There they are. There are also parks that are peaceful to be able to sit in on the edge of lakes. All right. Okay. Nice lakes and parks and good food.
I'm still wondering how this is a fucking island.
It's not an island. There's lakes nearby. Yeah, that's why it doesn't make any sense. Here's 4 stars. I enjoy living someplace that still has trees and nice-sized yards. It has a rural feel, but it's close to shopping and entertainment.
That's nice, yeah.
That seems like what people are looking for. Here's 4 stars. I've lived here my whole life, and I love it. It's a very close-knit community, and people are always here to help you out when you need it. I'm always worried about that, speaking of always. People are always helping you. Yeah, well, get away from me. I don't need your help always. Most neighbors are friendly, good for families, good for pets, especially if you have bigger pets or livestock, which are very big pets, I guess, if you want to get technical about it. Giant pets. There is more land available. Quiet country living. Barely any traffic, but about a 15 to 20-minute drive to and from stores, restaurants, etc. So probably the edge of Orlando, I would think.
I like the idea of having livestock, like being able to. Like you're free to, but just fucking don't do it.
It sounds like a lot of hassle. Because, like, my dogs are a real, like, they take a lot of time out of the day. So I can't imagine if they had, like, 100 cows, how I'd have to deal with that.
I just want to live my life where I have the possibility of having livestock, but I just don't do it.
Yeah,
like, I wish everybody did that.
See, sure, I can. If I look out over my ranch, I can just see the livestock moving around in my brain. I can see it, and that's good enough for me.
There's an idea that I have enough room for it.
I could do it,
but I'm not gonna do it because they fucking stink.
Yeah, that's gross. The other problem.
Yeah.
Here's 4 stars. I live in a semi-rural area. The people are nice. There's hardly any crime at all. However, 5 minutes down the road, the community turns into rich white snobs. And that's exactly the people we're going to talk about in this area are the down the road, because there's the small kind of town part, and then there's the bigger estates out in the little bit.
Rich people.
Yes, so that's where we are. It's the only reason I put this review in here is to say how, there's a 2 worlds in this town. And they say these people tend to be very judgmental, but there are still many good people in that area. There is not an extreme amount of fun places to go out to, and the mall is practically dead. Oh, not the mall.
Oh, well, that's great, actually. I'd love to have a mall that's just fucking empty, and you're able to go from shop to shop in air conditioning. Yeah,
but I think when you say dead, that means that most of the stores are gone.
It's closing.
Yeah, it's one of those malls probably. Not like it's awesome. There's no lines. Yeah. Everybody's the Auntie Anne's person's just standing out in front waiting.
The employees stand out front awaiting your arrival.
Yeah, that'd be like a great
you rented
shopping.
the mall out.
You shop like you're like a rapper after hours.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
We're keeping it open for 2 hours for fucking Kendrick Lamar's coming in. So they say, in the future, I see more houses being crammed in the areas that they cannot fit. and our nature areas being destroyed for housing reasons. The school system is great except for a handful of teachers arrested for sexual harassment.
Okay.
That's a big
That's too many.
That's a big except for.
Yeah.
Except for the teachers constantly diddling the kids. This place,
schools
the schools
are great if you can handle the rape.
I mean, yeah. Obviously, these fresh teachers outside of that.
Good
Lord. If I could have the option to live somewhere else, I would not move. Despite the flaws, I love it here. Mm-hmm. All right. And how many people? That's that.
You love living where the teachers rape the children? What are we talking about?
The school system is great. Never mind love living there. They're saying they're not even giving a knock on the school system.
It's not even the school's problem. It's that guy.
It's all good.
Christ.
So let's see how many people don't care about that. 2,792 people is the population here.
Almost 3,000 people.
Still pretty damn small. Mm-hmm. Way more males than females here. That's almost 56% male, which I think it's the highest we've ever seen. That's not normal.
Yeah, with less than 3,000 people, that's a real intimate school setting.
That's really is. Yeah, you can really get close to the kids, and you can sexually harass them on a one-to-one level rather than having to sexually harass 35 kids at the same time. You know
Almost
what I mean?
No witnesses.
Yeah, Jesus, what an awful thought.
I don't like that at all.
No, median age here is about 33.3, which is about 5 years younger than the normal, average. More married people here. It's about 54% married, and the divorce rate's about normal. Widowed rate is half here because it's younger people. So this isn't like old people Florida, really, except for some of the rich area. Unemployment rate here is about normal. Median household income, though, is high. Median household income in this area, $85,274.
Not bad.
It's about $15,000 higher than the national average. Cost of living, let's see here, 100 is average, regular. Here it's 106. And
so pretty close, yeah.
Pretty close. Housing, median home cost here, $350,200.
It's not so bad.
Not so bad. Pretty close to the national average. Yeah. And, people always think of Florida as cheap, though, and it's not anymore. Right. It's definitely not a cheap place to live. That used to be the reason to go there. Well, it doesn't snow and it's cheap. Yeah. That's why.
Yeah. I think the Northeast sees it as
that's
affordable
what I mean.
And cheap. Yeah,
because compared to Massachusetts, you go
Southwest goes, holy fuck, it's the same price.
Yeah, it's the same price and it's sticky. It's a little stickier down there. We have heat, but that's sticky. So maybe this is for you. Maybe this is we've described exactly what you've been looking for.
Possible.
And in case we have for you the Chuluota.
Chuluota.
Yeah. Chuluota, Florida real estate report. The average two-bedroom rental here goes for almost double the national average.
Good God.
$2,430.
Oh, my.
Obscene. I don't understand how or why, but it is very expensive to rent a place here. Here's a two-bedroom, one-bath, 1,078 square foot house on a 0.26 acre lot, so not very big.
Yeah.
The siding is corrugated metal, so it looks like a big trailer, even though it's not.
A shed.
It looks like a shed, a shack, a place to be murdered, a place where if you yell inside, it's going to echo back and forth. It doesn't.
I can't believe louvered tin is an aesthetic that people bought.
Yeah, it looks like a house trailer. It's so fucking weird. Why would they buy that?
What is that?
Put it on their house. We're going to put this all over our house.
Your place looks temporary. I don't know if you know it.
Yeah, it's either this or vinyl siding. I can't decide. Like, weird. The inside is weird too. Strange floors. I've never seen floors like this. Big squares. I don't know if they're wood or what, but they look like they're laminated. It's very strange. They look like laminated giant wood square
probably
floors.
Is laminated.
It's very strange. Floor. It's so weird. And green walls. The walls are all green as fuck. Kitchen's kind of fucked also. It doesn't look that great. $250,000 for that, though. Just reduced $10,000, by the way.
It's going to get more reduced, I think. Hang in there.
I think so, because this house is better. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,508 square foot.
Okay.
0.33 acre lot. It's a foreclosure, everybody.
Oh, boy.
Jump on the misfortune of others. Let's do it, everyone. It's a bit run down. The inside is very plain. The kitchen's from 2002.
Yeah.
clearly.
So we couldn't afford it. I mean, it's going to be bad.
What it is. Large, looks like water damage on the floor where the fridge was. Like
So it's not even that they couldn't afford it, it's that they didn't want to afford it
they
because
didn't care.
What's the point? It's going to need work. I can't afford the work.
Can't do it. $279,900. Just reduced $20,000.
Mm-hmm. That's going to go lower too. Wow, this place is on sale.
Well, here's another one. Everybody, you've heard about the best. Now try the rest. We have for you a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 4,370 square foot house on a 5.12 acre lot.
Hell yes.
Sits there. There's all grass around it, no trees right by the house, but then it looks like all woods around it. Like
fantastic.
Beautiful place. Inside, a lot of columns in this place. Oh. A lot of Tuscan style shit.
Yeah.
Carmela Soprano would be just fucking soaking wet in this place. That's what it looks like. It looks like this is her. She designed it. Very
Tuscan design.
It's weird nowadays.
So out of place.
And in Florida too. Yeah. Very cool media room with like a starry ceiling thing. That's
Love
pretty
that.
cool. $1,699,000, but that sounds steep. It was just reduced $50,000, so it's practically free. Sale. Everything is on sale. We got trailers, we got mansions, we got it all.
That's hilarious.
Holy shit! So things to do in this town. Mm-hmm. What the hell are we going to do around here? Not a lot to do, really, honestly. Yeah. Because Orlando's right there, and that is like. Yeah. So much shit to do. Everything, a little bit different. Here, there's the Central Winds Music Festival.
Oh, Central Winds.
Central Winds. I was just going to say, sounds like a fart from deep within your intestines. That's a fart from like a taco from 3 days ago. It's a Central Wind.
What the fuck? What do they got here?
Well, a family-friendly event features a variety of musical genres, food trucks, local vendors, and fun activities for all ages. Uh-huh. Their goal is to bring the community together to celebrate music and culture, and they're excited to showcase local talent and bring in national acts to make this a truly unforgettable experience.
Oh, national acts.
Here we go. Well, let's find out. Here's who is here in 2023, because they don't have the this year's lineup yet, because it's 2020. It's in October, so.
Oh.
Or November.
There's a big release day for that.
Well, yeah, they got to let it percolate. You got to let it fucking marinate and bubble and let people really want it. You know, they got to need it.
Suspense, some desire.
Here is the 2023 music lineup of national acts. Bailey Callahan.
Oh, that's not the right Bailey.
No, it's a redheaded lady who looks like she cut her bangs at 2 a.m. when she was very sad about something. With a guitar. Black Canvas, which looks like a bunch of 55-year-old white guys.
It's a big swing and a miss. They should have got Bailey Zimmerman. They should have got the Black Crows or the Black Keys.
I think they're hoping.
They're missing crazy.
I think they're hoping that these sound familiar to you, but you're not expecting too much. Gilly and the Girl.
Oh no.
Which sounds country. But it doesn't really look it. It's a guy with a guitar and he's got like a kind of a pork pie hat on. Doesn't really look like a country guy. Hello Sister, which is chicks with instruments here. But they're standing there is the weird part. They're not
gals.
like playing them. They look like they're 17. One looks like Meadow Soprano, like exactly
they're all
like
sisters.
her. Like
I'm sure they're sisters.
They look alike, yeah. Megan Katerina, just a lady. No Lonely Hearts, which looks like a boy band. It's looks like 5 young, handsome guys all wearing identical outfits. So
5 guys with girlfriends.
Yep, 5 guys. Well, 4 guys with girlfriends and 1 with a boyfriend. But either way. And then finally, a band that looks like an 80s metal band that's still trying to make it. But they're
what are they called?
Rocket Fly.
Oh.
Rocket, not Rocket. Rocket Fly. And it's long, wispy-haired, gray-haired guys. So that's fun.
Boy.
That's will be there. Damn it.
Where's your national
That's
acts,
it.
guys?
Oh, that's it. I believe the Black Canvas is your or Gilly and the Girl. I have no fucking idea. Crime rate in this town. What we're interested in here. Property crime is, I got to go back. Hold on one second here.
What you got?
I got to go back to the bands for just 1 minute.
Oh.
What an odd mixture.
Yeah. Something for everybody, I guess.
It's so, like, they don't look like they would even be in the same, like, festival. Never mind. Like,
they're
if there
all
was
so different from each other.
If there's a week-long music festival, these people wouldn't all be on it. But for one night, they're going to put these people together.
All those different ones. That's weird.
they're going to bring No Lonely Hearts out. It looks like they're going to do like some dancing and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, happy stuff.
And they're like, here are these old man rockers after that. Enjoy.
And then a bunch of sisters.
And then here's, teeny bopper sisters. Have that. One's got a bass in her hand. That's pretty cool.
Oh.
Anyway, crime rate, back to that. Property crime is just below the national average, pretty close to the national average. Violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and, of course, assault. The Mount Rushmore of crime is about 20% under the national average.
All right.
So, I mean, it should be safe out here. There's not much going on. And especially especially where these people live, there's even less going on. It's the nice rural, every property has multiple acres section of town. So let's talk about a murder with this.
Let's do it. Here we go. Let's start out with some people. All right.
Let's start out with Margaret Ann Wade is her maiden name. She'll later on be Margaret Ann Amato, Maato. She's born in Amato. Is that what I said?
Yeah. You said
did I not say that? Did I really? I'm sorry. Amato. Motto. That's what I like to say when I eat a tomato. Motto. Delicious. It's
Amato. Got it.
Amato. I was looking at the other M. God damn it. She's born in 1957. She is going to be this whole family is successful.
Hell yeah.
Except for one person. She will end up being a senior operations manager for Nuance Transcription Company, which is they do medical transcriptions, which is apparently a huge business. From
like transcribing records of your
records and what the doctor. I didn't realize what a huge middleman like markup that is. Like.
Yeah, it makes sense that would be something because you got to get that information cataloged somewhere.
If you have doctor bills, that's part of it. A medical transcriber, like we've all paid for this. It's great.
It's also to protect the doctor against malpractice lawsuits. I'm sure.
Yeah.
You got to document everything.
So she's the senior operations manager. I guess she started out as a lowly transcriber, and then she worked her way up to being a boss and making very good money. She has a husband named Chad. Chad Robert Amato is his name. And he's described by his one kid, as kind of a overbearing Italian father. Yeah. He's very goal-oriented and very, you're going to do this and everybody's going to be a success. This is what you're going to do in life, kids. And then sets the path out for him. And one of those guys. Yeah. Hey, don't embarrass us, all right? Let's go. Get out there and do something.
Oh, man.
A lot of that don't embarrass me bullshit going on. Now, Margaret has a son from a previous relationship. Not a marriage, just a son she had.
Okay. All right. She's a party.
She's fun. She's born. His name is Jason. He's born 1984-ish. And when Margaret and Chad get married, Chad adopts Jason.
Atta boy, Chad.
So that's the father's not around at all. So it's they want to make a family and have more kids and stuff. And they're like, well, we can't have
feel like he's not belonging. Yeah,
you're the first kid now. Yeah. So that's about 1984. Now Chad is a clinical pharmacist.
Oh, we got some doctor shit happening in this family.
He makes good money. Apparently, the degree he has though that he gets it 35 years ago is different than the one the guys get now or the people get now. So it's like there's certain stuff
grandfathered in probably.
No, there's certain stuff like that he kind of can't do now because he didn't. Yeah, it's a weird thing. So as he gets older, it kind of gets harder for him.
And in Florida, they cracked down on pharmacists because that's where the fucking epicenter of the opioid shit started.
Just handing out pain management.
Right.
Right.
Or just a clinic.
A pain management clinic where they got a guy standing outside.
Feeding junkies pills.
You walk up, hand him a 20, and then he does a hand signal of like 2 or 3 to somebody else, and then that guy runs around the corner, gets it from the ground stash, and then a 12-year-old hands it to you as you walk to your car. Like The Wire, basically, is how
it's a bad situation that was going on.
It's not good. I didn't know what a clinical pharmacist was.
What is that?
Apparently, this is the definition of a clinical pharmacist. Clinical pharmacy is the branch of pharmacy in which clinical pharmacists provide direct patient care that optimizes the use of medication and promotes health, wellness, and disease prevention. Clinical pharmacists care for patients in all healthcare settings, but the clinical pharmacy movement initially began inside hospitals and clinics.
Oh.
Clinical pharmacists often work in collaboration with physicians, physician assistants, nurse practitioners, and other healthcare professionals. Clinical pharmacists can enter into a formal collaborative agreement with another healthcare provider, generally one or more physicians, that allows pharmacists to prescribe medications and order lab tests.
So it's almost like he's a pharmacist on site at the hospital? Or
yeah, it's almost like part
like
doctor, part pharmacist, because you can prescribe things. So you're, I guess, entrusted to, I don't know.
That is a fascinating
Yeah.
role.
I don't know if everybody behind the counter at Rite Aid is
I don't know.
Is that?
I don't know how they do that.
I have no idea. I didn't know this was even a thing. To me, I just heard pharmacists, and you go and you hand them a piece of paper, and they hand you a little bag of pills, and you leave.
But this guy's like, the doctor gave you this one. I think this is better for you. What?
Well, I hope they call the doctor.
Or this goes with that.
This
will suppress the appetite. Or what the fuck? Okay.
If you take that, you're going to have the shits. So take this. It's going to help.
Take this too.
One of those, yeah. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. But why don't you focus also, you look at green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well.
Right.
And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show. Wow.
Like when they give, ladies out there will recognize this, and men, I don't know if you knew this, but apparently when you get antibiotics as a lady, a lot of times you get a yeast infection. So they have to know to prescribe that medicine for that as well. Here's your antibiotics, and here's your whatever the fuck this is for a yeast infection. That happens.
You're gonna get yucky down there.
I'm telling you, it is a fucking, it's a wilderness down there. It's a lot going on that makes me go, wow, man, this dick is so much easier to deal with. Having a penis is so much easier to deal with.
Just dusting it off from time to time.
That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. With having anything else, having a vagina is like having an old house. Like,
there's always
something go. What's that creaking? Is that And it's like it's inside. I can't tell. It's up in the rafters. I can't see it in there.
I don't know where it's coming from.
Your dick's just there. It's just you could lay it on the table, examine it.
Is it musty in here? Does it smell musty?
What's going on up here? Is that a bat? Are there bats in here? You never know.
Yeah, your belfry's busy.
You got a busy belfry. So a coworker of Chad's, Chad ends up working at CVS Health, is who he works for, said that he worked 2 jobs and was very proud of all his sons. We'll talk about them. Now, as of the late 2010s, 2017, 18, and into 19, Chad and Margaret planned to work a few more years. That's all they wanted to do.
Retirement.
Few more years. Yeah, they're edging up in age now. She's in her early 60s. He's in his late 50s. So they said few more years. Then they're going to move down to Tennessee and retire.
Move up to Tennessee.
Or yeah, I guess it would be up, down
North.
for
All right, they're going to go to Nashville and party it up.
A neighbor of mine just said that his friend just moved down to Tennessee like 3 days ago outside. Yeah. I think that was stuck in my head. So,
yeah,
she said that Chad was tired. This is Margaret said Chad was tired and stressed from working 2 jobs and having to deal with other people's issues. And we'll talk about some of those issues. Seems like a successful family. Their house, by the way, is fucking awesome. Here, we'll talk about, I'll show you their house. It's a big, giant house, 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 3,200 square feet, 2112 Sultan Circle in Chuluota, by the way, in case you want to look it up. It's a, good high-price house, nice house, big yard, good-sized property. Life is decent for these people. They have some more sons. They have Jason already. They pop a couple more out. Here's Cody comes in 1987.
Yeah.
So now father and son are Chad and Cody.
Yeah.
Which is a rough pair. And
a country band.
Yeah, Chad doesn't say, or a Nickelodeon show, one of the two.
Yeah.
Disney Channel show. One of those shows that guy who allegedly touched everybody made. Yeah, like Schneider.
That guy likes to get massages on.
Yeah. Come on, 12-year-old, give me a massage. I wonder if he taught at that school.
Yeah.
From the review. Maybe that's what happened.
Nobody would know. They didn't say anything.
Never. So Chad is an odd name for someone born in 1961.
Yeah, he might be one of the first Chads.
I think he might be like a real pioneer in the chatting. Pioneer chatter, you know what I mean? He got out there.
Out front of the Chad trend.
He was out there chopping trees down with an axe in Chad Forest. There was nobody else there. He made his own clearing and
just
house.
Carving the path, man, for all the Chads.
Got to do it. Trailblazing for Chads all throughout the country and the world. Are there Chads anywhere else but in America? I don't know.
There's a country of it, which is pretty cool.
That might be a lot of people named Chad
pretty
there,
rad
possibly.
If you have a Chad in your phone and you go to type to them, when you type the word Chad, the flag comes up as an opportunity to replace that word with the flag of Chad.
Because most people saying Chad in the United States are talking about the country usually. Yeah.
Always.
Thanks. It's a very helpful suggestion, Apple.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Fucking fascinating.
That's fucking
Nobody
funny.
else has that. There's no other name in an English language that there's a country of, and they got a fucking flag.
No. But are there any other Chads, though? Like, is there a Brazilian Chad? I don't know if that exists. Is there a Malaysian Chad?
I don't know. Probably if an
Chad
American knocked up some chick in Mongolia, they may have named him Chad.
After the father?
Well, there's not some lady in a forest somewhere with a son named Chad.
That's what I mean.
Uruguay
is it
or whatever?
That's what I'm wondering. Is there some deep in the jungles of the Amazon? Is there a baby Chad somewhere wearing a loincloth and being
Congo named Chad,
being scared of outsiders and without wanting his picture taken so his image doesn't get stolen and soul doesn't get taken?
But if you go to nail salons, there's probably a little boy in fucking Vietnam named Chad.
I'm sure there is. After Dad.
If you go to nail salons, I believe there's a lot of Stephanies in Vietnam.
Yeah, a couple. Well, the ones in nail salons, though, generally are actually from Vietnam.
Right, that's my point. They pick a American name because there's nobody in Vietnam.
No, exactly.
Stephanie, get out of here.
Not usually. I don't know how that translates.
Right.
I don't know if there's symbols for it, characters for that one.
I don't think so either.
So Cody comes in 87, and then in 1989, May 20th, 1989, Grant is born.
Okay.
Their next son, Grant Tiernan Amato is his name. Tiernan. So Grant and Cody are the sons that they have that are, they're only 2 years apart. So they're going to be very close, and then Jason's kind of the outsider because he's a little bit older, and he kind of does his own thing. He's a third wheel when it comes to the brothers, though. The brothers are all together with each other, and then there's Jason.
I got a niece that's 2 years older than my daughter, and they are so different. They couldn't be more different.
And especially like when you're kids too.
Yeah.
When you're 12, you're not into shit that 10-year-olds do. When you're 14, you're into shit that 12-year-olds do.
You're 16. You want a 14-year-old hanging around doing 14-year-old shit?
It's not till 18, 16, 19, 17 that it's like, hey, we like to say, you like to drink and try to fuck girls? So do I. Amazing.
Me too.
Wow, really cool. Let's do that together. So Margaret, mom here, apparently mom is real into horses.
Okay.
And you know that they have money if mom's into horses.
She does horse shit.
Oh yeah, everybody here is making north of $100,000 a year in this house. By the way,
this is for sure. Yeah,
they're doing real well. She rescued a horse, a brown-coated former racehorse named Lady. She rescued. Apparently, this horse just showed up into the yard and was hungry and looked skinny, and it was just.
They got stray horses popping up?
Stray ex-racehorses. These aren't wild horses. This is a stray racehorse, which is just let him go. What? He'll find his way. Like, who the hell did that? That's ridiculous.
You just open the door and let them, they'll come back. It's not a fucking cat. That thing's huge.
It's a giant horse. It was just like eating leaves and shit. And she's like, oh, we got to fix this. So she took the horse and put it in a stable nearby.
Okay.
So as she said, they said every day she'd ride her bike from her house to the nearby Miracle Lane stables where she boarded this. She pays to have this house, this horse taken care of. And they said she worked tirelessly to rehabilitate this horse and help it and, get it back healthy and all this type of shit. I guess she tried to train this racehorse to have people riding it again because it had been feral. It went feral. Yeah, right. I've never heard of a horse going feral, but apparently they do.
Goes back to its roots.
Yeah, I guess Margaret was bucked off several times while training Lady and hurt. And her neighbor said she never wavered, though. She got right back in there and
kidding me?
Kept getting on this fucking horse. Yeah, this is,
God.
a 50-something-year-old lady's like, I'll break a hip over this shit. I don't care. I'm fixing this horse.
Breaking a hip or his spirit, but I'm going to break something.
One of the two. Her friend Jules said some of us would shake our heads, but Margaret never gave up on Lady, and it blossomed into a wonderful relationship because Margaret never gave up.
Unbelievable.
So they became close after that. This is a whole separate story. This is just a nice story about a lady and a horse. There's no murder. Surprise, everyone. No murder today. Isn't that sweet? She fed it carrots and shit.
I've never heard anybody just petting a horse and it eventually accepts you. You got to beat the living shit out of that thing for it to listen to you.
I've seen these crazy videos of these people that are weird horse people.
And they whisper.
Have you ever seen this?
No.
They just have this fucking. You give them a couple minutes with a horse. Give them 10 minutes with a wild horse, and it'll start fucking doing what the guy wants in 10 fucking minutes. And it's all about calmness. It's so weird. Yeah. There's none of this aggression or any of that shit.
Really?
It's about.
I know they
calmness.
do respond to a calm, but you at some point you've got to fucking whip it too. You know what I mean?
No, this guy doesn't do any of that shit. The ones I've seen, the guys who are really good at it don't do any of that stuff. They just have this calmness where there's a certain thing. If they're, it's weird. It's almost like a clutch. You give a little, take a little, but
real finesse.
It's in my yard with deer. If the deer, if I walk outside and there's some deer there, I don't want them to run away and spook them and shit. So you stand still and they stare at you. I'll just look away and take a couple steps in the other direction. Then they're like, oh, okay, he's not trying to fuck with me. He's not interested. That's kind of what you have to do with these horses. You have to act like, I'm not interested in you, horse.
Fascinating.
Fuck you. I'm not trying to train you. I'm just hanging out here.
Trying to ride you.
And then they get interested in you a little bit, and then you have to it's a very weird thing. I don't know how people do it, but I think that's something you got to kind of be born with and then work on a lot probably too.
I guess that's because there's probably multiple approaches, and those are probably two of them, because I know that people beat the living shit out of these things to break their spirit, and it's fucked up. I'm sure,
especially you probably don't have to be as smart to do that.
Right. Yeah, that's just generally punching and throwing.
That's how people raise kids, too. The dumb ones just beat the shit out of them because they're too smart, not smart enough to figure out how to mentally bend this thing that's way dumber than me to my will.
Right.
And I think that's probably the same class of people. There's a couple
ways. You can do it by force or finesse.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't know shit about raising horses, so if I'm wrong, I don't know. I'm sorry. I have no idea.
I've ridden them. I've cared for them, but I've never.
Don't know.
Yeah, I've never had to beat them either.
No,
they were already, I guess, broken by the time I rode them.
Fuck no. And they're giant and terrifying. I'm not fucking hitting that thing. What if it bites me? It's going to take my arm off. Fuck
bites.
that.
I'd rather get bitten than kicked. That kick is nasty. Holy shit.
Not doing that. So she never gave up. Then lady ended up dying eventually.
Really?
But Margaret would still go to the stables to be around the other horses, to brush and train them. Just volunteer. It wasn't getting paid or anything.
These are somebody else's horses.
Yeah, she'd just show up to hang out with the horses and brush them and help train them. And she liked being around the horses. So that's what she did. So yeah, their house is very beautiful. Like their house right now, the Zestimate on it in 2024 is $853,500. $853. No, it's a nice house out there. Now here is Grant's take on Chuluota here. Grant is the youngest son. Right. He said, regarding Chuluota, it's another topic all on its own. It was my home for 25 out of my 29 years of being alive. That's at the time that he wrote it. It used to be so recluse and rural, but over the past 5 years, it has had a great deal of development. This is both good and a bad thing. Fortunately, we lived in an old neighborhood that stayed peaceful despite all the development.
Oh.
They live in the area with 6-acre properties with big houses, and nobody's selling them to developers or any shit like that. This is
ordinances passed to keep them the same.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's not going to be an apartment complex in this area anytime soon. So he said our property was about 4 acres, and it started with hundreds of beautiful pine and oak trees and palmettos. So this is these kids are growing up wanting for nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, the house is beautiful. The inside is nice. It's clean. They have any toys and things they ever want, and camps and school and anything they could want. They have a big yard and property to run around on, a safe neighborhood to play in. It's very, very idyllic childhood for them. He said it was almost like a forest. Then Hurricane Charlie came around and tore down so many trees. Fortunately, that home never sustained any damage after all the years in hurricanes. That's lucky. I think that's why, by the way, a lot of these houses have, like, they're cleared around the house, and then there's trees like 100 feet from the house, so nothing falls on it.
It's not the hurricane that does it. It's the shit that hurricane throws at your house.
It's trees falling on it. He said that the people there weren't what I would call eccentric, but elitist. So he's calling the people elitist. He's like, it's not like an artist community. They're just uppity.
Pompous dicks. Yeah.
Yep. He said they are a proud community that doesn't want to change and be a part of all the development. All the development brought many stores and commodities to our rural world. My only complaint about living where I do is that the extremely fast internet packages hadn't reached us yet. The real fast ones. Neither did Uber Eats. Sad, I know. He says, sad, I know.
In what year? Jesus.
This is 2019.
No Uber Eats.
No Uber Eats and not the very fast internet. He's still working with regular cable internet.
That's shitty. Brace yourself for the next 8 months because it's going to get real bad out there.
He's going to need Uber Eats and fast
a strong internet connection.
Yeah, he ends up getting the fast internet after a while, but for a long time it wasn't there. Now, the brothers, they need to talk about their relationship, Cody and Grant's relationship. They're extremely, extremely, extremely close. I say that 3 times for a reason. Because people thought it was weird always.
Really?
Like so close. Usually brothers can be very close, and unless they're twins, like even if they're twins, people don't think it's weird that they're that close, you know? Like it's just, they're brothers. That's why they're close. But they're like Collier Brothers weird.
Who are they?
The Patreon episode of those guys. We did. Guys in New York City that shared this apartment and never talked to anybody else for decades and all this shit. That's
one was blind.
That's how people think of them. Like they're real weird together. And Cody is dad's favorite. Grant is mom's favorite. You notice the baby is always, I meant out of the two. Out of the two.
Always mom. Yeah.
The baby's always mom's favorite for some reason. That's so strange to me. So, and I guess Cody's the firstborn boy, so he's dad's favorite. So apparently Cody, dad's not alone in his love of Cody. Everyone loves Cody.
Cody's a great kid.
He's popular. He's successful. He does everything that everybody likes. He says the right thing. He does the right thing. He's good looking.
Yeah. Why can't you be like your brother, Grant?
And Grant's his right hand. He's always right next to him and all that kind of thing, but he's 2 years younger, and he definitely looks up to Cody and looks to him, but they're inseparable. They do everything together. They went to Timber Creek High School, and they both joined the weightlifting team together. Yeah, they said Cody was a much better weightlifter. Grant even said Cody was better, much stronger. Yeah, Grant, here,
2 years on you.
I'll show you the picture of Grant as an adult here. Here you go.
See. Oh, boy. Oh, that's not good. That's
too bad. See what I mean? Yeah, he's a gangly looking fuck.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
He's got a bad head shape.
How old is that kid?
In that picture, he's in his 20s.
Oh, no.
Yeah, late 20s. Pre-30.
He's got the head of a 48-year-old.
Yes. His hairline does not match anything.
No.
But
I've got better hair than him. Yeah.
He has like a sad, long face, though, that the hairline looks like it goes with, but not on a 28-something-year-old man.
Yeah.
On an older man who's had tragedy in his life.
It's like an alien shape where like the bottom is long and thin.
Yeah.
And the top is like he's got a big brain or something in there. And his hair can't cover it all.
He's got a 3 failed marriage hairline, too. He's got one there that looks like it's just... That's the best way to describe it. But he's very young. And Cody has full head of perfect hair.
Oh, good for you, Cody.
So your older brother has great hair and your hair sucks. Is shitty.
You can't lift shit.
And you can't lift. Yeah, he's stronger and has a fucking more hair. And you're like, great, this is perfect. Now I got this to deal with. But he's not jealous. Nobody says he's ever jealous of Cody. Really? They're just so tight, it doesn't matter. Like
content with what he's got.
He loves it. Well, they have the same thing. They do everything together. So they always, outside of the hair and the looks, they have the same type of deal. When they graduate high school, both Cody and Grant went to the University of Central Florida. Okay. So they both went there. I believe because we find out later that there's no student debt from this. I believe their parents paid for them to go to college. So, I mean, their lives, dude.
Wow. Couldn't be more different.
So great. That's what I mean. Can you imagine this? Like
Jesus.
And the father laid out, you're going to go into the medical field. Yeah. You're going to go to this college. I'm going to send you there. This is where you're going to go. You're going to both do the nursing program.
Sure.
That's what you're going to do.
And foot the bill.
They both want to become nurse anesthesiasts. Is that how you say it?
It's good money. Anesthesiologist.
Yes. Anesthesiologist nurse is what it is.
Golly.
That's good money. That's over $100,000 a year and a very solid profession that's not going anywhere.
Dude, when I had kids, I paid so many doctors so much money. But
so much money.
The person that made the most money was the guy that did the epidural. Both times. The doctor didn't get paid shit.
No. And that's because a cab driver can catch a baby that comes out. But to put a fucking needle into your spine without paralyzing you takes fucking ability and skill.
You bet. Yep.
So that's interesting. So anyway, that's they both go there, and that's a very good job.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It really is. The brothers had a plan with their life that they were both going to be nurses and anesthesiologists, and they were going to buy matching BMWs.
Okay.
This is what I mean about that's
weird.
Matching BMWs, and they were going to live at home until their parents retired and moved to Tennessee, and then they would just live in the house. They'd take it over with their matching BMWs.
What a life.
His and also his.
His and his. Brothers BMW.
It makes no sense.
No. And to be in your 20s and maybe 30s living with your brother, I can't do that.
That's nobody, and especially if everybody's making $100,000 a year. This isn't like, oh God, we're all poor. Like we do some stories where they all live in a house in the hills and there's a shack out in the back property, and the son's family lives in a trailer off on the east side of the property. None of that going on. These
Pooling
people
their money, and they don't have to because there is no money to pool. This is crazy.
This is either kid is going to be able to afford their own house, and instead they're both going to live home and just wait for the parents to leave, and then the parents will just give them a house because they've given them everything else in this fucking world. There's,
I can't imagine.
By the way, a lot of rumor swirling around this case and it's just rumor, and I'm just putting it out there as rumor and making sure to say this is not a fact and we don't know shit. But there's a lot of rumor that there is some sort of Menendez component to this where People think
underlying issues.
Possibly the father was doing something weird to the boys. The father's very overbearing, but it seems like he might just be very overbearing.
That happens. Yeah.
There are fathers who just, knock their kids around a little bit when they don't do exactly what they want and try to keep them on the straight and narrow path, quote unquote, and all that shit.
Toe the line of legality with tough love.
And also don't fuck them. Like there's also, that also exists too. So we don't know, but there's some weirdness to it that's a very strange thing. Grant said of his brother Cody, he'd take care of everything for me.
Okay.
He does. He always helps him. They watch anime together a lot. They're real into anime.
Oh, boy.
Grant his whole fucking room.
Yeah.
From floor to ceiling, everywhere is just lined with boxes. Those, unopened boxes of anime figures.
Wow.
Of every stripe imaginable. It's this whole fucking room, dude. There's hundreds of them.
Yu-Gi-Oh! And Dragon Ball Z and further, obviously.
More. Now, that's kind of, I think, the basic shit. They get into, the more...
Oh, they're doing deep underground
They're doing... Absolute. Well, here we go. Let's hear from Grant. He said... Anyways, you mentioned anime. This is in a letter.
I'd love to talk about that.
He said, I love it. It was a passion my brother Cody and I shared and started at the same time. I have to give him full credit for exposing me to anime all the way back in 2013. At the beginning, we would watch previously aired shows together. He would download the series and we would watch them together. The first 5 anime shows we watched together were Full Metal Panic, Gundam 00.
Gundam, yeah.
Gundam 00. Full Metal Alchemist. Mm-hmm. Wonder if that has to do with Full Metal Panic. Is that like a
Full Metal
spinoff?
Jacket. This is a cartoon.
Yeah. Code GEASS. I don't know. GAS and Death Note.
Yeah, I don't know those.
No, he said Code GAS is still today our favorite anime of all time.
Really?
And this is after 6 years, thousands of shows, and thousands of hours logged in this quote-unquote hobby.
Yeah.
As I stated, my brother and I would watch almost every new series that came out each season, 4 seasons per year and roughly 30 series per season.
Holy.
Jesus Christ, that's 100 and fucking...
It's a lot of work,
wow,
man.
That's a lot. Each ranging from 13 to 26 episodes. Wow.
How do you have the time?
You know what sounds like they don't have? I hear a lot of time for work and school and anime. I'm not hearing
not much anything else. No girls, man.
No dating, no hobbies,
fun, no outdoors shit, nothing.
They do get into something like that, as we'll talk about. He said, and we watched countless series and movies that were previously released. Cody had such a knowledge and passion for anime that I fell in love with it with him. I remember numerous nights we would finish an episode or a series and talk the night away over coffee down in the kitchen.
What?
Yeah. He said, because of our love for the culture that was derived from all the anime we watched, it was a dream of ours to go to Japan and experience this wonderful culture. Okay. He said, he said that's what he said that, and they end up going to Japan at one point.
Really?
A couple times. And he said he was blown away as he was walking through Tokyo and Kyoto, saying there's not a single piece of trash on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So, he's got the full room of anime toys. He's in his 20s. It's getting interesting. So
very, very dorky.
Very dorky. So when they go to this, I guess you do college, then you have to go to this special nursing program for this.
Yeah, you're doing grad
special nursing.
Yeah.
Right. So Cody graduates from the nurse anesthesiast program, but Grant is kicked out.
Oh no.
He gets kicked out of the program. Now,
bad grades?
No, he was kicked out. He apparently got in an argument, and this is his reason, and there's some documentation to back it up. He got into an argument with an instructor, a doctor of some kind, over how much length to insert a catheter into a female patient.
For urine, that kind of catheter?
I guess, yeah, catheter in a female patient. And there was a discrepancy between the two about how far in it should go.
Okay.
And Grant argued about this, and I guess he was wrong, apparently. Yeah. And so they kicked him out of the program.
Wow. I mean, if you don't know that, then you can't do this.
Yeah, and if you're arguing with your instructor who's telling you what to do, that seems silly.
I have the textbook right here that says this, and we've been doing this for 300 years, so do what you're told.
And everybody else that we do this with is doing it the way I told them, and then you're like, no, stick it in farther. You got to get in there. Like, that's not part of it.
Maybe going too far.
Yeah, maybe too far with that. And Grant ended up getting upset with Cody for the first time ever, pretty much, because Cody didn't stick up for him. He said he thought maybe Cody would like rally like a protest, like get all the students behind him so they would all go, no, you're not kicking Grant out. That's ridiculous. And like rally a protest.
I can't do that.
He said, but Cody had his own, the way he put it, his own image to maintain as far as being like the perfect student and all this sort of shit. So he didn't want to cause trouble in his own deal. So he just shut the fuck up and did the program and graduated. So, yeah, but Grant was a little bit, not too upset in the end, but that caused a little bit of beef where he was like, dude, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
You don't stick up for me? So, I mean, he said that Grant said that growing up in high school and college, he said that both he and Cody were very heavily restricted.
What do you mean?
He said restricted in what they were allowed to do.
Okay, sheltered, yeah.
Very strict parents.
Yeah.
He said that we were allowed to do some things. He said it wasn't like the Jason situation where he wasn't allowed to do anything. I guess Jason wasn't allowed to go anywhere, which is probably why Jason moves away pretty much immediately once he gets out of the house. He moves like away from the family.
18, he can get away. Yeah.
He's the fuck out. But these kids do the exact opposite and lean into it and stick around forever.
All right.
So it's very interesting. He said that the disciplinarian in the family was Dad, and that was it. And he said that he would lock Jason in his room. And he said Mom didn't agree with that, but Dad did it anyway, wouldn't let him out. He said he didn't approve of it, but Dad would be like very angry and he would be overbearing, is what he said. He said he would like push my mom, and like in one instance, it was getting to that age where me and Cody were kind of getting old enough to maybe be able to do something if she needed our help. So it got to that age where he's saying Dad was pushing Mom around and they were getting older, like, hey, maybe we should help her. He said, and I remember her and my dad were like in their room, which if you go down the stairs is right to there to the left. We heard our mom yell that he's hurting me. And then me and Cody run downstairs and we go into the room and we're trying to get our dad off of our mom. And then my dad goes back, and that's when one of my noses, that's when my nose got its little bridge like that. You see how he has that bump on his nose? Because his dad broke his nose, I think, is the problem.
Wow.
He said right there, I mean, that's like how he did it. He did it with a 2x4, like baseball practice.
His dad did that?
Yes. He said that he would he made it into a paddle.
Okay.
He said he was definitely overbearing, but he would always rationalize that he's just trying to like secure our future. Like, I'm doing this for your own good. If I don't beat you, then you won't be able to do things well.
2x4?
Hey, everybody. Just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover. Yeah. Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing. No. They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently wherever your problem areas are. Tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's SONOBELLO.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right, let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going, look good out there, and you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable, and you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad.
Right.
There's chemicals and things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff, and I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options.
Nice.
It's very cool, and you can personalize this portion, and you can put filters on it, and get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
This is crazy. That's a lot. He said he was violent toward the family, violent toward my mom, and violent toward me, Grant said. He said never toward Cody and never toward Jason. Okay. And he said he always said never toward Cody. Why? He's like he would beat me up, and me and Cody be doing the same thing, and he beat me with a paddle and not hit Cody at all.
Fascinating.
He's like that's weird. He said I could kind of see it, but Cody never really made any mistakes either. He said he did a few things wrong. Maybe he lied a few times, but he said I guess he wasn't as bad as me or something.
Right.
He said that, Jason got into trouble a couple of times, and he said it cost his dad some money a few times. He said that I guess that he and Jason had that difficulty where it's like we got to see or we got to do something, and I just don't want to tell Dad about it. Okay. It's, like teenager shit, but then Cody wouldn't do that stuff. Mm-hmm. He said that beatings with like a 2x4 he'd get. And then, he'd use it it was like a 2x4 that was like fashioned into a paddle called the lightning rod.
Yeah.
I think is what he called it. He broke it on me once.
Oh, Jesus.
So he had a name for the thing. I find it very weird when parents have a name for the object they beat their kids with. Right, they're like, I'm going to get the lightning rod out. Like, holy fuck, dude. That's very abusive. You're trying to get a Pavlov's dog.
Around, and tried to find a clever name for a beating instrument.
The lightning rod.
Jesus.
That is fucking ridiculous. He said that he'd do that and he'd push you around and he'd want to punch you and bruise you. He said he never slapped me, but I guess I should say the only place I ever got bruises is on my butt. And then he said his nose was in the previous thing, so who knows?
He's got a permanent bump on his face.
So they went on to say that he goes on to say that his dad he said, quote, he would just make me feel bad. Okay. He made me feel bad that Cody's doing all this stuff and like I'm not.
Guilty.
You know,
yeah.
I'm not contributing, and
guilt trips about how much of a piece of shit he is. Sure.
Yeah, Cody's why can't you be more like Cody type of shit?
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't grow any more hair. This is all I have.
You did this to me.
You did this to me. So Grant was able to find work at Advent Health Orlando as a nurse, because he's not a nurse anesthesiologist, whatever, but he's a registered nurse still. Yeah. So both brothers make good money. His brother is an nurse anesthesiast, and he's working here. They both make good money, and but they both live at home still.
It's not good.
In their 20s, just hanging out. I mean, Cody's making over $100,000 a year without any bills.
Yeah.
He's just socking cash away, I guess.
It's not good in my opinion, but it could be great. I don't know. Fuck.
The parents are going to hand them a house.
Yeah.
And he's going to have hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank. Like, he's setting him up for quite a good retirement down the road here for Cody.
It's a lot of fun, disposable income in Florida if he wants to.
Yes, and that's what they do. They buy, we'll talk about what they buy, but it's all the shit they're into. But Grant said that they stayed home also because Dad had a hard time letting go.
Oh, Dad didn't want him to leave.
Dad didn't want them to. He wanted them to stay close by. He was afraid as soon as they left, they'd turn into fuck-ups.
Yeah, it is.
He couldn't
Florida.
monitor them.
Easy.
It is very easy to get mixed up in something.
And they're around drugs all the time, every day.
Oh, yeah.
So, and nurses get involved in this shit a lot.
Nurses have like the highest rate of drug addiction there is because it's right fucking there. You know what I mean?
Right there.
And it's a stressful job. A lot of times there's shit hours and things like that. Drugs right in front of your face. It makes sense. So then you're just left with this situation. This weird.
What do you do?
Speaking of weird, here's some quotes from Grant about Cody. And listen, I have brothers and I love them, but this is fucking weird to say this. It's just weird. I don't know how else to put it. I'll let you be the judge. Quote.
Grant said it about Cody?
This is Grant. Quote, Cody was the love of my life. Is that a weird thing to say about your brother?
You can't say that.
I've never in my life heard siblings describe someone as the love of their life.
A minute ago, he said he was in love with him because of the bond
he said
with the.
He fell in love with anime.
Oh,
with him.
With him. Got
with
it.
him,
Okay.
like together. They fell in love.
Okay, in love with the. Mm-hmm.
But here he's going right out. He was the love of my life. We were so compatible. He's the person I knew was always going to be there for me. He was, listen to this line, because I've heard people say this about like a woman before that they've, they've been together for 30 years. Quote, he was kind of my angel on this earth. Have you ever heard, again, siblings describe that love of my life so compatible?
Yeah, he adores him.
Always knew he was going to be there for me. He's the angel of earth. He said,
incest? I don't think I've ever heard of that, except for.
That's what I mean.
You know what I mean? Gay, like child molestation incest. That's the only thing I've ever heard of. I've never heard of brothers being
just in love with each other.
At least one in love with the other.
Yeah.
Never heard it.
And the other being right there too. He said, I always thought Cody would be my significant other, so to speak. I mean, this doesn't get better. He doesn't
you can't
clarify.
so to speak that.
Yeah. Well, you would imagine starting with Cody was the love of my life. Let me clarify. And then he would like make it like more clear what he's talking about and less
I don't mean that
ambiguously
way.
gay.
That way. I mean,
Instead,
exactly that way.
He makes it worse. He's like, I mean, really, just the bulge of his dick outline in his shorts when you get out of a pool. I don't know what it was. I go crazy. Like, he might as well say that at this point.
Significant other means something very specific.
So to speak. Not so to speak.
So to speak. You can't so to speak that.
No, that is not a so to speak situation. No. Holy fuck. No,
I
so to speaking.
wish you hadn't spoke, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, so to speak. Back up. He said, no matter where we went, we'd always be together and do everything together. And then here's another thing I've never heard anyone say outside of with a spouse. I've always hoped we'd pass away at the exact same time. Like holding hands. Okay. Think about that whole statement he just made. Cody was the love of my life. We were so compatible. He's the person I knew was always going to be there for me. He was kind of like my angel on this earth. I always thought Cody would be my significant other, so to speak. No matter where we went, we'd always be together and do everything together. I always hoped we'd pass away at the exact same time.
Does he want to eat him and have him be part of him? What is he doing?
Like, keep him in a freezer just so he can look at him every once in a while, prop him up next to him while they play video games for a while, put the PlayStation controller in his hand and be like, Cody, you suck today, bro. I'm kicking your ass.
Same time.
Die at the same time. And this, by the way, isn't like a bunch of different quotes from different times that I pieced together. He said this in one chunk out of his mouth.
Sitting.
One sitting. So they're very into anime and video games as well, which kind of go hand in hand. Cody loves it too. They're just as into that. They want to go to Japan. They end up going to Japan. They're also really into guns.
Really?
Really into guns. And the whole family's into guns. Dad walks around with a holster on all the time.
Really?
And they have, shit gets rough at the pharmacy. I don't know.
He's giving an epidural to a pregnant woman. I got my 45 here.
How you doing? Doc Holliday. Nice to meet you. What the fuck are we doing here? So, the kids, they love guns, and they both work and don't have bills. So they have tons of money to buy thousands of dollars worth of crazy guns.
Is that what they do?
Oh, they have all sorts of crazy guns that they buy. Yeah, they go to the ranges all the time. They said they would go to the range and spend thousands on ammo.
Yeah, ammunition is insane now.
Yeah, especially for crazy guns. You know what I mean?
Right. If you got nutty shit that costs $1.50 a round,
it's not 38 revolver ammo. You know what I'm saying? It's expensive shit. Yeah, and if you're busting them off full auto, it's gonna. You go through that shit fast. So, but they just spend tons of money on ammo and guns and go shoot for hours and have a good time. That's what they were into. And then they'd come home and play the shooter games on TV or on video games.
Because you see the gun in the game and you're like, we should get one of those.
Yeah, we should get that. I want weapons package number 3 from Grand Theft Auto 5. That's what I want. All of those.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
They can afford it. They're living like adult children.
I can't imagine living that life. That's so bizarre.
Just adult children, like, yay, jobs and money, but mom still has dinner on the table at 6. All right. We don't even have to worry about that.
And also, I hope you get off on time because there's an opening at the range.
That's what I mean. I'm wondering, do these boys do their own laundry? That's the question I have.
There's no way they do, right?
There's no way Grant washes his shit-stained underwear. He doesn't.
Nope.
Someone does it for him.
Yeah.
So in addition to all of that, they're also really into airsoft wars, which are basically, if you've seen paintball wars that they have, this is paintball shit with airsoft guns, which are little plastic pellets rather than bullets. But they come out fucking hard. Yeah.
Jesus.
Rod had tons of those guns, and we used to, he'd have targets set up all around his house. So you'd just be sitting in his living room, and he'd pick up this giant fucking 357 long barrel crazy pellet gun and just pop off shots at this thing. Like, holy fuck. It was fun. So they were a member of they had a team and everything.
Yeah.
They had both the members of a competitive airsoft team called Remedy. That was the name of the team.
Oh, because they're nurses.
Yeah,
and they got the Remedy, James.
They got the Remedy. Yeah, it's probably all nurses on the team.
Yeah.
And they would, Grant said that he was Cody's right-hand guy and that Cody was the aggressor.
Yeah.
He said he would cover Cody and everything. Mm-hmm. Everything they did, it was like Cody would go charge something while Grant would have higher ground.
Lay down ground cover.
Lay down. Yeah. So that's how they did it. And he was happy to be like Cody's right-hand man.
To be a part of it, yeah.
Didn't want to be the man or all that shit. He didn't care. So things couldn't be going better for everybody here, right?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Except for whatever weird sexual energy is floating around this house.
There's something, somebody needs a blowjob, for sure. Yeah,
for sure. And like I said, I'm not saying the father molested them at all. I'm just saying a lot of people were saying that stuff, and I'm like, I don't know if that's true. Nobody even alleges that, but that's somehow people came up with that.
He's certainly got some interesting punishment techniques, according to Grant. But
according to Grant,
we don't know.
Who the hell knows? Yeah. So June of 2018. Mm-hmm. This is when things start to get a little iffy and a little squishy.
Loopy? It's going to get loopier.
Grant is under suspicion of stealing and improperly administering medication to patients, and for the fact that his job thinks he's suicidal. So they deny allegations that he was suicidal, saying the officers at his job called said that he didn't meet the criteria to be a danger for himself or others around him. They did, though, conclude that there was evidence to the claim of improper medicine administration. Yeah. Okay. Hospital staff found 8 empty vials of the sedative propofol.
Oh.
Propofol.
That's what killed Michael Jackson.
Yes, because it's an anesthesia. Mm-hmm. That's why it's not. Yeah. It's not something that you just take all the time to go to sleep. Right. It's something.
It's not a sleep aid.
No,
it's a
that's
fucking
why.
Knockout.
It's a knockout that is. Yeah. They make you sign that form before you get anesthesia. This is why, because this shit might never wake up with this shit. So, it is the active component of an intravenous anesthetic formulation used for induction and maintenance of general anesthesia. That's the definition of it. So, this had not been ordered by any doctors. They found empty vials, though, but it hadn't been ordered by anybody. Okay. And they found the vials in 2 rooms that Grant had been overseeing.
Huh.
So they learned that the officers learned that he'd been accused of committing grand theft at the hospital. The staff told the police officers that on June 19th, 2018, 8 unordered empty vials of propofol worth $258.38 per vial, for a total of $2,067.04, were found in 2 rooms under his care, and the hospital's pharmacist found that Amato had taken the propofol and put it in his pocket, which I don't think is procedure.
Hold on. So he just opened the packages, threw those on the floor, and then put the propofol in his pocket.
Just pocket it like you just bought a dime bag on the corner.
Where's he going to go?
I don't know what he's thinking
doing
there.
With this?
Well, the hospital's pharmacist found out about that, and that's how this happened. I guess the police said in the arrest report that Amato admitted that he stole the propofol for patient use. Uh-huh. He said, according to a letter of apology written to Florida hospitals that was submitted into evidence, Amato stated that he administered the drug to patients who were not being adequately relaxed by doctor-ordered medication.
Oh, so he's making calls now.
He's making fucking calls on what very strong medications to dole out to fucking people that the doctors have not given.
Do that. Yeah.
No, he's like, you can't fall asleep. I'll get you something for that.
I got you. Yeah.
Wow. He said he didn't use the propofol or steal the propofol. He just administered it.
Okay.
Which is even crazier. If he fucking stole it for personal use, or selling it, I could see that. You know what I mean? That I could at least understand the logic behind it.
Administering drugs to incredibly strong drugs to patients that weren't ordered that. That's weird.
And not with nefarious purposes. He's not one of these.
Yeah, he's trying to help.
He's not one of these crazy nurses that we've talked about. We've had a few cases where they're killing patients on purpose. He's not even doing that. He's just trying to help. Yeah, trying to be good at his job, which is so fucking weird. This is not the job to go above and beyond on when it comes to this type of shit.
They ordered Oxy, but I think you'll do better on Dilaudid. What?
I think you'll like this better.
I think you'll find this to be much more helpful.
Less itchy. You know what I mean? You're going to like it.
You can't do that.
What the fuck? He's suspected of stealing and giving patients unordered propofol for a longer period, and Florida Hospital is conducting an investigation to find out the total amount stolen. Mm-hmm. He just said they weren't being adequately relaxed.
Wow, I don't know. Jerk them off. What are you doing?
Yeah, jerk them off. I don't know. So the hospital then fired him, and he gets arrested for grand larceny. The charges are later dropped, actually, though. Great. Somehow. I don't know why it's dropped, but I guess they didn't have enough evidence to go forward with it. But they definitely had enough evidence to shit can his ass.
Yeah.
So now he's been fired and has this on his record that he stole drugs. So no one's hiring him.
Oh, and he's disgraced because he was kicked out of school.
Yeah. That's the other thing. It's one thing if he got kicked out of school and he does his job. That's one thing. Yeah. And it's one thing if he stole the drugs for personal use and then he went to rehab or something. Right. He stole the drugs and gave them to people. How do you fix that?
Yeah.
You can't fix that.
And what he was kicked out of school for was for arguing the correct procedure here when everybody else is doing it that way. No, and then he gets a job and then he decides, I'm not going to argue it. I'll just do it my way. No, what are you doing?
He should have just went to medical school. if he wanted to be a fucking doctor so big. It seems like he really wants to be a doctor. And,
and then write some journals about the right way to do things, and then be loud about your treatment. Yeah,
instruct others and kick them out for bad catheter practice. I don't know. So he can't find any work. He's applying for jobs, but he can't find any work. So he attempts to start a whole new career. Whole new career as, well, let's see. What do you do? It's the late 2010s.
Yeah.
You have no job. You can't do anything. What can you do? You can be a Twitch star.
Oh, is that
what he does? He tries to be a streamer on Twitch, a video game guy.
Video game streamer. All right.
Yes.
That's early. That's an early adopter.
Yes, the problem with that is the only people that make money there are guys who yell racial slurs and women who are hot. Those are the people who make money on Twitch. People want to see guys yell the N-word at people or a hot chick play video games.
That's fun,
One of the two. A dork sitting there.
Yeah, just playing the game.
He's terrible at it, too. Like, I've seen the videos of him. The point is, no matter what you're doing in the game, you're supposed to have, like, a personality and supposed to be like, oh, what's this guy doing now? Oh, right. And then you, like I said, hurl racial slurs or do whatever you do on there. He just sits there stone-faced, not even, like, facial, even if he had, like, facial expressions, he's just, like, stone-faced. I watched this clip. It's like 20 seconds of him sitting there stone-faced, and then he goes, I don't know what just happened there. You go, no one's going to pay to watch that. Sorry,
no one. We need you to explain it, man.
No one's paying for that, Chief.
No,
sorry.
Not at all.
And, I guess he charged $5 a month was the thing. And in his best month, he made about $150.
Jeez Louise.
Or $5. It's like $5 every 45 days or something.
Oh.
You get paid out, I guess. Oh. So, he made about $150 per month in his best month of Twitch. And that was supposed to be like his new career. Like his fucking parents bought him all sorts of equipment for this shit.
I'm
like
sure,
the extra monitors and the big headphones and the good webcam and spent thousands of dollars on him.
Yeah.
So he could set up his Twitch industry.
That stuff is so expensive.
It's all expensive.
It's always been like that. Electronics cost a fuckload of money.
Yeah, especially up-to-date ones. And you have to have the up-to-date shit if you're doing that because otherwise kids are going to make fun of you.
Yeah, you can't. You can't have a Twitch stream where everybody just roasts you.
Roast your piss-poor, shitty old man equipment.
You're supposed to be the star, not the audience.
It's not good. Yeah, that's going to be bad. Bad shit. So $150 a month is the best he made. So instead of like trying harder to get his audience up, he's not really a stick-to-it kind of guy, Grant. No, he just like kind of stops doing it because it's not working.
Right, because he
tried it for a few months and didn't become like a major sensation. So he's like, well, fuck that, I guess I quit. Which is pretty ridiculous, I would say.
That's short-sighted. You got to stick with something. You got to keep going and plug away and put things out and make the content.
Imagine when we first started Crime and Sports, which is our first podcast. It was out. We did it for a year before we started Small Town Murder. If we would have stopped after 2 months.
Oh, boy.
Nobody was listening after 2 months. No. Nobody knew where it would have been probably a prudent decision to quit at that point and stop wasting our time.
It made a lot of sense back then.
And we said, no, we're going to double down and try harder.
We're going to make
idiots.
another.
And it was good. It ended up working out, but that's what you have to do. I mean, he basically had the same first 2 months as us, except he quit. That was the problem.
Yeah.
And we didn't make $150 for a fucking year.
No, but the other thing is like we didn't have anything
to make $150.
We had something else that we were doing that we were unsuccessful at.
Yes, exactly. That we couldn't break the next fucking level at too. So it was very frustrating.
All these for us. Anything that's in the media, it's very hard. You got to have things that finger fuck at each other. You know what I mean? Yeah. You got to have everything pre-pollinating or cross-pollinating and moving numbers. Otherwise, it's just you're going to get stagnant.
Nothing's merit-based also.
No,
so this is all based on some strange
you gotta catch a wave. Yeah.
Intergalactic bingo ball that gets picked out, like
and when it does and it's yours, fucking run with it.
Otherwise, you're fucked. So rather than doing that, he just visits porn sites all the time.
Hell yeah.
That's what he does. So he just sits there with all this equipment and like 8 monitors around him just looking at chicks diddling themselves. So one day he's on a torrent site. And do you know torrents? Do you have any torrent
experience. So I'm familiar with torrents. You could rip music and stuff back in the day. I don't know what they do with them now.
Okay, torrents, they're still around now, but it's less of a thing. In like the late 2000s and early 2010s, like torrents were everything. I fucking ripped everything. I didn't watch anything on TV. I'd just rip it and I'd download the torrent and fucking do that. So I did that with everything. So he's on a torrent site, which is where he gets all the anime shit from because it's Japanese. So it's not like he can stream it. Right. No, so that's the way you do it. And while he's on this site, it's probably Pirate Bay because that's kind of the most popular one. Yeah, the Pirate Bay. So he's probably on there. But on these torrent sites, tons of banner ads on these torrent sites.
Yeah.
They're fucking
that's
everywhere.
how they make money. Yeah.
Like you'll click on a torrent and it goes to the page of a banner of a fucking ad. Then you have to click backwards and then click on it again to get to the thing. Like it's very frustrating, but it's, free everything you want. So you do it.
But you're watching every episode of The Office. So shut the fuck up.
You got everything. So he's watching, he's looking for torrents and he sees the banner ad on top for My Free Cams.
Oh boy.
Now, My Free Cams.
Yeah, and he clicked it. Jesus, that scares the shit out of me.
He saw a banner ad and went, I'm sure that's legit.
That's not going to give me every virus that's on computers.
Nope. Now, I know a guy who is deep into this cam shit world.
Oh, yeah, you do.
And I'm going to explain some shit in a second here, but he used to be like obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Like where he'd like text me, oh, check it out. This chick did this and that. I'm like, I don't fucking care about these girls on your web. There was like 30 chicks he was always watching and like, look, I don't give a fuck about that. Hey, this one got a fuck machine. I'd go, why are you telling me this?
You're not going to believe it.
Like it was his friends or his social circle.
Yeah.
I'm like, hang out with real people.
You dude.
So at first it was whatever, but then he gets on there and he meets a cam model on there. Well,
really?
He pays a woman to do sexual things, and then he takes this as a relationship. Her name is Sylvia, and Sylvia is Viya.
Okay.
Last name Ventislavova.
Mm-hmm. Russian girl.
Bulgarian.
Oh.
She's a Bulgarian in Bulgaria. And I guess Sylvie is her kind of screen name here.
Sure.
Now, he is immediately real smitten with Sylvie. Like
That's
Cody level. Yeah. Cody level of smitten. Big time.
New soulmate.
New soulmate. Yeah, new significant other. Mm-hmm. He would have to pay, what you do here is you have to buy tokens.
Yeah.
You don't just pay actual money. You buy tokens, and then you give the tokens to the girls.
Right.
And he would spend up to 4 hours a night on this website, buying up 5,000 tokens at a time, which is like $600.
Okay.
It's a lot of money every day.
He's blowing $600 a day.
A day. You couldn't smoke that much crack in a day. Like that's a $600 a day Bulgarian webcam habit is too much.
How much can you beat off, man? It's not that at that point. It's just spending time. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Now, Sylvie's shows cost, listen to this, 90 tokens a minute.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, she's expensive. And what he did is he just put on, he completely invented a persona.
His
name's Grant Amato, but now he's a rich and successful gamer. That's what he says. Oh. He has a rich and successful internet Twitch guy. That's
just
what he
the
says.
Opposite of what I am. Okay.
Exactly. Not like she can't go on there and see he has 8 followers, but still. Right. He says that and says that he has all this money, says he has a BMW, says he has all this amazing stuff.
Wow.
Says the house that he's in is his house, even though it's his parents' house. Forgets to mention that.
He lives there, that's for sure.
He sends her physically to Bulgaria, lingerie and sex toys to wear when she's doing it, and pays shitloads of money for his time. Now, the same person I know that did the webcam thing with the My Free Cams also got in a very, he thought anyway, a very serious relationship with a webcam girl.
Right.
Exact same thing. He met her. She's from an Eastern European ex-Soviet bloc country. I won't say which one. And he was in love with her.
Yeah.
And he came to me and was like, this is my girlfriend now. And I was like, hold on a minute. You paid her literally. This started out with him paying her to fist herself, and I'm not kidding. That's what it was.
Her to your mom, huh?
And now this is your girlfriend, and like it's weird because I know a lot about the webcam world just because he talked to this girl so much. Like these webcams, these girls aren't in like their own apartment, like doing their own thing. There's a giant warehouse,
right?
Huge warehouse. Used to be like a Soviet military stockade or some shit, and they clear it all out and they make cubicles inside. And every girl has their own cubicle and their own set. And you just walk around from set to set to set. If you went, there's 100 girls in there.
Oh, God.
And it's not the most pleasant guy. Eastern European fucking pimps, basically.
Right.
Making them do this. Or not making them. It's a job. They go home at the end of the day.
It's like a call center where you call with your pussy.
Yeah, it's like a phone sex bank.
Yeah, right.
Except it's webcam. And they're just, fisting each other all day long. So... And this guy ended up, I mean, he sent her so much fucking money. They spend so much time.
$600 a day and then more.
Yeah.
And it's probably exciting. I've never done it, but I can imagine it would be pretty exciting to send somebody a specific thing and then you're watching and then all of a sudden that specific thing pops up on your camera.
Yeah, probably because they have some sort of weird like celebrity relationship with them almost. Like, I saw her on the screen, then I sent her this, now she's wearing it on the screen. Right. Like if someone did that on TV, you'd be like, oh, look what happened.
J-Lo's wearing the Louboutins I sent her. That's crazy.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. So, no, but the guy I knew, though, he got real deep into this. I mean, this was going on for years, like 3 years, to the point where he finally was going for the K-1 visa. The 90-day fiance deal. Yeah. He was going to, I'm bringing her over here, talking about, they were arguing about whether she was going to go to school or not because she wanted to go to school, but he was worried that, somebody else would pay her to fist herself. Or I don't know what he was worried about, whatever the fuck.
She's going to see that there are other people that look better than him.
Yes, that are he's 20 years older than her, or 15 or whatever the fuck it was, and all this shit. And then finally it all came to a head where this was all going to happen, and then she stopped talking to him completely, ghosted his ass.
Didn't even show up. Didn't even tell him no.
Nope. Ghosted his ass, and that was that.
Wow.
So this is, I mean, the whole thing's a fantasy they're building up. Right. So at what point do you think the fantasy's real? And you know what I mean?
A fantasy is a fantasy. And when it crosses over to actually touching and being people, that's never happening, Guy. It's not happening.
It's rare, probably. Very rare. I would say it's super rare. So in order to keep talking with him, he had to give her, or to keep talking to her, he had to give her more money and give her more money and give her more money. He said later on, quote, "It wasn't my intention to keep talking to this woman, but it just sort of happened." Wow. Said that they had an emotional connection. Yeah. I'm sure that's what it was. Let me show you this, Jimmy. Roll your chair over again. Here's a picture of him, and here's a picture of her. They had an emotional connection. I bet he was emotionally connected to her cleavage, is what he's emotionally connected to.
I'm emotionally connected to that fucking top, I'll tell you that much.
That's what I mean. That fucking weird corset thing she's wearing is pretty medieval fucking leather tit corset is pretty good.
She's laid on her back like in a sexy position, and he is like looking through his eyebrows.
He's looking through his eyebrows with his bad hair and his
That
face
is not good.
No, emotional connection.
Oh,
my ass.
Yeah.
She had a financial connection, and he had a rock-hard cock. So
well, she had somebody yelling at her, get more money out of him, and she's like, I will. That's her connection.
That's exactly. So then he would take like his dad's credit card and say he needed to use it to get things for Twitch that he needed to do.
He's out of money.
He's like subscribing to this thing and do all that. He takes some money from that. And after a while, he just started stealing money from people. He's stealing credit cards from his parents, stealing what he could get his hands on from his parents to give to this girl. Within a few months, he had spent over $200,000.
Oh, my God.
This is in addition to all of his money that he spent, which is who knows, but $200,000 of other people's money on this girl.
Is this a murder story of how his dad gutted him for this?
If it was, I would be saying this story has a happy ending.
I would beat my son senseless for this.
If I said his dad found out and beat him to death, you'd all go, I mean, I could see it.
There's a jury that'll get him off.
I mean, there's some mitigating circumstances
dads, but there's
there.
A jury.
How old is he? 29? Yeah.
Oh, my.
Let's see his bald head. Yeah, look at him. He just looks like fucking, yeah.
How could you?
It's...
How?
My head explodes with the possibilities.
$600 a day, you can get there. You can certainly get there.
My brain swims with the... it's wild. So... Cody also has a girlfriend, an actual real one, though.
A woman, yeah.
This is an actual woman he knows. Her name is Sloan Young, whom that's his girlfriend.
Yeah.
They met and became friends as co-workers at the Orlando Regional Medical Center.
There you go.
But then, over the course of a few months, they got closer and closer and started a relationship. Like a normal person.
Normal people do, yeah.
Meet a chick at work, be friends. She's a little flirty. It leads to more, and then maybe you're happy. That's
all of a sudden there's a relationship.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Not like, let me get $200,000 from my dad.
Let me give you $600 an hour.
Give it to a Bulgarian girl. So this is Sloan, said Cody's the best kind of person. He cared so much about his job and his patients, and not just them, but his coworkers and his friends and family too.
Got a big heart.
Everyone loves Cody. He is like totally like that. So anyway, in December of 2019, they go to Japan.
Yeah.
The whole crew here. Not the whole crew, but we got Cody and we got Grant and a friend of theirs named Jericho Fine, which is a really weird name. Jericho Fine. That sounds made up. It sounds cool as shit, right?
Is that a dude?
Yeah, Mr. Fine.
He gets
Look at you, Mr. Fine.
Yeah. His name's Jericho. Jesus.
I don't know. He's going to Japan to look at like the beginnings of anime shit. So he gets laid might be we don't know.
I think Jericho's going to split off and go fuck all kinds of Japanese chicks.
That's possible. He's going to have the full geisha experience over there.
He doesn't go by Jerry, right? He goes by Jericho. I would never go by anything but Jericho.
No,
that is
I wouldn't
such
either.
a rad name.
But then again, I would just be yelling at him like Joe Pesci in that movie. Jericho. That's all I'd be saying over and over.
Cool name.
So he's a longtime friend of the brothers. Sure. And the three of them went to Japan for like 2 weeks-ish in December here. So in the beginning of December. So this guy, Jericho, said that the brothers loved each other, but he detected some tension between them during the traveling. Yeah. Which, international travel, I don't care how strong your relationship is, see how it is after you're done going through customs, and we'll see if you could tell me how sound it is, because at some point you're going to go, you got to pick it up and bring it over there because they're going to fucking pick it up. It's going to happen.
This isn't a direct flight. They stopped somewhere.
There's
layovers.
They stopped somewhere. They had to go through they had to figure out what signs meant and shit. It's going to get fucking touchy. So they said at one point, Grant disappeared for 2 hours. They couldn't find Grant. He's just gone. So when they were in Japan.
In Japan, he just disappeared for 2 hours?
Yeah, Jericho said that they found Grant at a Pacino, Pachino, which is a gambling building. But he wasn't gambling. He was in there using his tablet, using the Wi-Fi in the building on his tablet.
No.
That's what he was doing.
What?
What do you think he's doing?
Oh, my God. He's talking to her while he's in Japan?
Well, we say, where's he get the money? Well, I know exactly where he got the money. Jericho Fine said after that he noticed his Discover card was used to make unauthorized charges.
Oh, no.
No international travel for you if you have a Discover card, first of all. You need to work on upping your credit card game and then go fucking halfway across the world, okay? Number one. Get a visa,
not gonna work somewhere,
and then go. Yeah, you can't travel the world with a fucking Discover card. I'm sorry, you can't.
Amex might be dicey too.
I don't know, but definitely Discover. You can't use that in half the places here. I don't think you can use that at Applebee's. Give me a fucking break.
Left his Capital One back home, James.
Yeah. So, he said that it was used to make unauthorized charges. He's fucking swiped this guy's Discover card. He said one went through, but the other two were denied, and they looked at the source of the charges, and they were for my free cam tokens.
Oh, my God.
He's over there stealing the guy, one of his travel companions' credit card.
Oh, what an embarrassing charge.
Isn't that crazy? And then after they got back from Japan on December 15th, and then a friend of theirs named Blake Turpin said that Grant was in his room, and he was the only other person in his room where his gun was stored.
What?
And it disappeared. He said Grant was in there for 10 minutes. Nobody else was in there, and his gun disappeared, a 9mm.
Oh,
and
shit.
He said that he was cleaning out his closet, so it was out, and his gun and his ammo was stolen.
Oh, wow.
So he thinks Grant did it, is what he thinks. He thinks he did it to sell it, because Grant, by the way, sold all of his guns and a lot of the family's guns, too. Just whatever he could take, because that's shit he could cash. He'd get easy money for.
$200,000 and more.
Yeah, that's part of it. That's part of the $200,000 is a shitload of guns, Dad's guns, Cody's guns, his guns, everybody's stuff. So when he gets back from Japan on December 15th, we know he stole a gun. Yeah. Grant said his dad was really overbearing when he got home, super overbearing, and was still upset about the thefts. And, gee, really? Yeah. Still upset you stole $200,000 and fucking used it for a Bulgarian webcam girl? Yeah, I wonder why he's upset.
Everybody understands a meth or heroin. I mean, we get upset with the people, but you understand how they got there. How do you get so addicted to this shit that you are stealing my guns?
You fucking shake a person. She doesn't even live here. At least find a local woman to bilk you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
spend
it's not
money
even
on
just
her.
about. It's not about the masturbation. It's about seeing her. That's
and
it.
He's telling her, "This is my girlfriend," is what he tells people.
No,
That's
dude, it's not.
It's not. It's like, does she call you when you don't pay her? And just
you initiate all conversations, man.
Does she finger for free? That's the question. If not, I don't know. So he said he was still upset, also upset about the fact that Grant hadn't found a job yet, but still went to Japan for 2 weeks. Like, you should have been looking for a job.
Yeah.
Cody paid for it. Really? Cody paid for Grant's ticket. Cody paid for everything, even though Grant has stolen a lot of money from Cody for the webcam girl, too. But Cody still buys him a plane ticket and pays for everything over there for him.
Cody figures that maybe getting him out of the country will make him think differently about some things or whatever.
Maybe he can, maybe have it. Instead, he's on the tablet over there. Grant says later on with him, meaning the dad, it was every single day, hours a day. He'd be home from work, and then he'd just talk to me about the same exact thing over and over and over and over again. So then that was get a job, stop stealing from me. These are fine things to tell your 29-year-old kid who's living in your fucking house.
Yeah.
So December 20th, his mother and Margaret and Cody, report him missing, Grant.
Oh.
They said he's depressed and possibly suicidal, and he also has access to guns, they tell the cops.
And broke and desperate.
And he's broke and he's desperate. So they report him missing, saying he's experiencing strong feelings of worthlessness, and that he had said to her in the last couple days that he had been grown really tired of everything and was, quote, just going to handle it his own way.
Oh.
So they were worried. The police report said yesterday Grant left the home without saying anything to anyone. His mother observed him drive off the property. A short while later, she had a text conversation with him in which he told her he was really getting tired of dealing with everything and he's just going to handle it his own way. Both Mrs. Amato and Cody say this is so out of character for Grant that they're 100% convinced that he will try to harm himself. Yeah. Grant has access to firearms. He owns firearms. They're not sure if he's taken any from the house, as they're not sure of his inventory because he's sold so many. They don't know.
We don't know how many were left for him to have access to.
No, they have no idea. They say Mrs. Amato did remove one from his vehicle prior to leaving town. However, when she returned 2 days ago, Grant told her that he knows she took one out of his car, but she doesn't know that he had another one in the car too. So he said, you took one, but you didn't get all the guns.
Right, you got more.
So where did he go? Where do you go when you go to Aunt Donna's house?
A relative's house.
A relative's house. You go to Aunt Donna's. Where the fuck else is he going to go? He has no money. You know, he's got nothing.
They said he's experiencing worthlessness. It's because he's worth nothing.
He's worthless. He's 200 in the hole right now.
Yeah.
So his Aunt Donna described him as skinny and lost looking.
Yeah.
And said that he showed up and he slept during the day and stayed up all night. And, the Bulgaria time change. It's right. Or the time difference there.
Time difference.
So the next day they find him, the police find him, as we'll find out here. the issue is, though, while he's at his aunt's house, he also is stealing from her.
God damn it.
Yes, and they also find in his possession pictures of credit cards belonging to his grandmother, Gloria.
He took pictures of them just for the numbers.
He took Italian grandma's fucking credit card number. Uncle Troy took his card, and one of his cousins are all found on his computer later. Wow. So he's got all of these people. Aunt Donna said she received calls from the rest of the family who urged her not to press charges. Really? Margaret and all them called and said, don't press charges on him for stealing from you. We'll pay you back. Cody promised to pay back anything that Grant stole from her or anybody else. I'll pay everybody back. Just don't press charges, please.
What the shit?
They said Chad broke down during his phone call with Donna, and Donna said it's the first time she'd heard him cry in the 27 years she knew him.
Wow.
He said that he had personally taken care of $150,000 worth of debt incurred by Grant by remortgaging his house.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He remortgaged his house.
He pushed retirement off $150,000 until
60-year-old guy working 2 jobs. And he said,
dear Christ.
I have to do that. Yeah, I don't have liquid a couple $100,000 that I can just throw at this and then be okay for later.
Doing, Grant?
So Donna said, he told me on the phone, yeah, I'm going to have to work for a few more years than I thought I'd have to. But it's okay. I'll do it for Grant. I don't want him to go to jail. That's what the father said. Dude, these parents just want, it's to the point where you're enabling him now. You know what I mean? It's just enabling this behavior. So early on December 22nd, the family showed up at 3 o'clock in the morning in the driveway.
At Aunt Donna's
house. Yeah. And they had been outside basically taking shifts to make sure Grant didn't run away somewhere. So they finally talked to him. They get him in the car, and his mother found a rehab facility to send him to for internet porn sex addiction.
Of course they have one.
Yeah, they do. They do. Absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing. So they send him there, which, by the way, cost them $15,000 that
more. God.
Cody paid for. Cody put up $15,000.
Yeah, I mean,
so between that and the trip.
It's better than spending $200,000 on porn.
Fuck yeah. It's supposed to be a 60-day program.
2 months he's got to be away from her.
He's there from December 22nd to January 4th.
Wow.
So he does not do the full 60
2
days.
weeks.
And he wants to come home. Dad says, okay, you're allowed to come home, but we have to have, there's an agreement you have to sign.
Cut the cord, man. Yeah.
There's paperwork and shit with this. There's a, quote, a zero tolerance ultimatum, he said. That's the father. Sits him down on January 5th at the California Pizza Kitchen in Waterford Lakes, where you have all your serious conversations.
Sit down over a ham and pineapple. Let's chat.
So fucking, what a weird environment to have this conversation. And this was a list of rules, and they had, by this point, too, Cody had paid $8,000 for an attorney for Grant for his former legal fees, $10,000 for the trip to Japan, and $15,000. This is his brother.
Thousands of dollars, man.
Thousands of dollars for his rehab stay. And also, Chad had let a fraudulent line of credit filed by Grant go through so it wouldn't be reported as fraudulent and get Grant in trouble. He had opened up a line of credit with his father's name to use the credit card, and Chad just said, I'll just take the card. It's fine.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cashback really adds up.
Escape reality and immerse yourself in a gripping tale of mystery, murder, and romance with June's Journey. Join June as she unravels the truth behind her sister's mysterious death and use your observation skills to find hidden clues and uncover dark secrets. Plus, you get to explore stunning hidden object scenes, from New York parlors to Parisian sidewalks, as each chapter reveals captivating mysteries. How sharp are your observation skills? Put them to the test in June's Journey. Download for free today on iOS and Android.
So during the meeting, Chad told Grant that if he broke any of the rules, he would have to leave the house immediately. Get your shit and go. Yeah. One of the rules was he is not allowed to have any communications with the Bulgarian webcam girl. Mm-hmm. That's out. They said Grant initially agreed to the rules, and he has to get a job. Yeah. You know, you have to be a fucking adult that's responsible.
Yeah, be a member of society. Yeah.
Not even pay bills. Just get a job and don't steal money from the family. That's pretty
Get a menial task job that starts chipping away at this money that we fucking put out on you.
No shit, pay us back. Mm-hmm. So Grant initially agreed to the rules, but then he was saying to his mom, because he always went to his mom, his dad would say something, this is the rule, he'd go to his mom would soften it.
Right.
Okay, well, we'll work it out. His mom was the one he would complain to, and then his mom would make it better, type of thing. So that's how this goes. So he would go to his mom and say, this isn't really fair because Sylvie isn't just the webcam girl. Oh, she's my girlfriend, and we're in a relationship. It's not fair for you to tell me I can't love and be in a relationship with the person I love.
Yeah, you can talk to the person you love when it doesn't cost you 90 tokens a minute.
When she will talk to you on WhatsApp for free, great.
Till then,
terrific.
No talkie.
Yeah, you can watch her finger herself on the camera all you want, but just not with my money. You can't.
Right.
So yeah, he had to stop doing it. Stop spending his entire night online. His phone service would be terminated, and he needed to go to therapy. And his family would no longer pay his debts. Okay. So they said this is critical, as Grant, through his past transgressions, has relied on the knowledge of that the family would not report him and would cover him. Okay. Family relationship abuse beyond tolerance. This is a promise. You better heed the warning. It's real. That's a quote from this letter. Mm-hmm. Dad's had it. They also said that he had given him a choice whether to stay home or join the military. He's 29. I think he's...
They're not taking him.
No, but the older brother, Jason, said that the father tried to make Grant seem like less of a person by then listing the reasons why he couldn't join, including the fact that he's too skinny and weak.
Yeah, and you're bald.
And you're bald. They don't take... You need hair to join the army. It's an army of hair. Yeah. You ever hear that slogan?
They got to give you a haircut. You can't. Yeah. You can't even get a haircut.
You don't need one. No, they'll look at it and go, nope, that's pathetic. Get it out of here. The other rules indicated the family wouldn't pay off his debts. So that's wild, though. Go in the military. A 29-year-old anime/gamer lover is not the... I don't, as a taxpayer, I don't want to pay for him to be in the army. He's not going to be good at this.
Webcam-addicted Twitch streamer. I'm not. Yeah. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not paying. I don't want to pay that guy's salary.
If there's a war, he's not going to help, and I'm not paying for him to fly over there and dick around and fucking get killed. No,
it's real loud here, baby. I'm sorry about the bangs.
Yeah, hold on.
Keep banging yourself.
There's so many credit cards around here. The whole troop has credit cards. This is great.
They're all dead, but keep going. I'm putting in new cards.
He's shooting his own soldiers so he could fucking steal their credit cards. So that's how this is going. Now, January 24th, 2019. So for about 3 weeks, this holds.
Yeah.
3 weeks, though. Then, apparently, he had tried to convince his mother to let him use her phone so he could contact the webcam model. She said no.
You've almost broken the habit, man.
So he said, okay, just let me use the phone to look up news and stuff. And she said, okay, fine. So he went on Twitter and contacted her through Twitter instead.
Yeah.
So he figured out a way to go around it. Yeah. Problem is, Chad found out about this.
Uh-oh.
Dad found out. He's not happy. He ordered him to immediately pack his shit up and get the fuck out of the house tonight. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just like we said. He said that he once father learned it was all fucking over. And so that night, January 24th, Cody is working at the Advent Hospital in East Orlando. Yep. And Cody's girlfriend says that night they were at work together. Yeah. And about 9:15 p.m., Chad had called Cody or texted him or something and told him to come home because something was wrong.
Oh, no.
So she asked Cody what's wrong, and Cody just told her, quote, stupid fucking bullshit. That was the only answer. She said she texted him later that night, like late night, and was told, and he told her through text, quote, all okay, you don't need to worry about me.
Oh, great.
So everything's fine, okay? Then the next morning comes around, January 25th, 2019, and Cody's got a pretty important job here, and he doesn't show up for work.
Oh, no.
So his coworkers become concerned because Cody is the most conscientious guy in the world and is never, if he's late 5 minutes, he calls. Like he's
punctual. Yeah.
Punctual. And in nursing, you kind of have to be because there's a schedule and you have to like get there at a certain time and the team has to work together. And there's a whole thing with that for like a surgery and that kind of thing. So the coworkers call the police and request a wellness check.
Okay.
One of the coworkers said he was texting Cody the night before, but Cody stopped replying at some point. Maybe he just got tired of talking to you. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe he fell asleep.
So the coworkers called 911 3 different times asking for well checks on him. So that's 3 times is a little obsessive. Everybody's obsessed with Cody.
And 911, huh? Not even just non-emergency. Jesus.
No, telling dispatchers that he had not missed a day of work in 5 years.
Okay, yeah. Well,
it's not like
what
him.
They're doing. Yeah.
They said even more unusual is that he didn't pick up his phone when several people tried calling him, too. They're like, this is not what Cody does. So one coworker knew that Cody's brother Grant had been severely depressed recently, and on the 911 call, he said, quote, that's really my main concern. I'm not assuming the worst, but this is just very out of character. He said, I'm concerned that something has come upon my friend. I know that his brother suffers from depression, and I believe suicidal ideation as well. Cody mentioned it to me, and I'm very worried.
I'm not trying to raise red flags, but I'm raising all the flags.
Just raising them all. By the way, all these calls came in pre-9 a.m.
Oh.
It's not like they waited till noon.
Right.
They're sitting there eating their fucking turkey sandwich. Still nobody shows up, and they call again.
He's an hour late. Call 911.
Call 911. 3. You call. I called 10 minutes ago. Now you call.
Did you call yet? I've called. All right, I'll call.
Have a chick call. Just have a chick. Maybe they'll think it's like his wife or something. Just have a chick call. Pretend to be his wife.
Wow.
So the police arrive at 9:17 a.m.
Okay.
Cody's vehicle's in the driveway. Other cars are in the garage. The deputy tries to call him, call the mother, call Grant, call Chad, got all the phone numbers. Nobody answers their phones.
Not one of the 4? Wow.
Not one of the 4. Knocks on the door, no answer. They blow an air horn out there.
Oh.
To get their attention. Yeah. Nobody answers. They beep the horn. They put the siren on for a minute.
Nothing.
They fucking knock on every window, every door. Nobody answers shit. So they go to the back door. The deputy goes to the back door and uses his pocket knife to pick the lock in the back door and opens it.
Is that legal?
It's fucking resourceful.
Certainly. And also, let's keep an eye on that guy that's capable of picking a locks with
That's
a
what I was
pocket
going to say.
knife.
I was just going to say, it's resourceful, but he's able to, like a secure, big, nice house, he can fucking pick a lock with a pocket knife, not even special lock picking equipment. That's pretty impressive stuff here.
Yeah.
But to me, this is normally in this situation, they'd kick the fucking door off the hinges.
Yeah.
If it's a wellness check, they got to do it. It's the law.
Can they do that? Yeah. Oh, really?
I believe so. I think they have to check. I think you can go away if there's no whatever, but if a lot of people keep calling, and especially if the department's getting like 3 calls in a half hour, they're like, just make sure where these fucking people are.
And I think it probably depends state to state, because in Colorado, when they checked at Shanann Watts' house, like the cop, he's just knocking and he's like, I can't go in there unless somebody tells me I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I need you to check. It's a wellness check. And he's like, I can't just go in there.
I can't just walk in there. Well, in Florida, you apparently can.
Just
I think
locks.
It's legal to shoot the locks off in Florida, probably, I think. Pow!
You have to use TNT.
That's what it is. Yeah, you have to put that. What's that shit the explosive shit
explosives?
That you shoot? No, that you shoot. They sell it at like gun stores.
Oh, Tannerite, yeah.
Tannerite, that's what it's called. So no response in any way. They walk in. Immediately, they see 59-year-old Chad on his back in the kitchen floor.
Uh-oh.
They find him. Chad is, he's shot twice in the head.
Really?
Twice in the head. Cody, they find as well. He is on the floor in the storage room, very dead, curled up in kind of a fetal position. He's shot under the eye.
Oh.
Yeah. Then they find 61-year-old mom, Margaret, face down on her computer desk in her office, shot in the back of the head.
Oh, no. That's first one, obviously, huh?
She was playing Candy Crush.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
1 minute, she's playing Candy Crush, doing like the most like mom on Facebook shit possible, which is exactly what somebody in this document. I had written that down, and then I saw somebody in this documentary say the exact same shit. I was like, it must just be right then.
It's
Everybody
the
thinks
mom
that
thing to do, yeah.
And then next thing you know, brains on the screen and face plant on there.
Damn it.
Cody, by the way, Chad has a gun in a holster still on him.
Okay.
A lot of good that did it at that time. Okay. And then Cody is holding a pistol, a 9mm pistol, and there's shells all around him.
Oh, lots of shells?
There's multiple shells.
Wow.
Yeah, multiple shells in the area around him, and he's got the pistol right like by his hand. So this is interesting right away. So right away the cops go, is this a murder-suicide?
Right.
Did he draw faster than Dad? Like,
right.
What the fuck happened here? But as they look around, they don't think it's right. It just seems wrong. The whole situation, the whole scene, the way it's set up seems wrong for that. And then later on when they test it, the pistol he has is not the pistol that everyone was shot with either.
Uh-oh.
So that's a problem right there. It's definitely not a murder-suicide at that point. Wow. So yeah, Dad was shot twice. That's wearing a holster with the handgun. He probably didn't think his own kid was going to shoot him.
Yeah, where the fuck is Grant?
But Cody was still wearing his scrubs. He just came home from work. He had like his bag and his scrubs here. Looks like he just got in the door and immediately got it, which is pretty fucking wild. Between the home gym and the garage is where he was found. On another handgun, by the way, was in Cody's work bag lying a few feet from his body, which is probably the gun he carries.
Right.
But then this one was in his hand. And they said that the wounds he had were not likely self-inflicted. Nobody shoots himself under the eye. I've literally never seen that ever. So, and that's what the medical examiner said. And they said there was no burns, fucking
barrel burn.
No contact burn wounds. So you'd have to have, that would be close. Nobody would hold, you're going to hold the gun fucking as far away from you as you can, shoot yourself in the eye. That'd be the real weird way to do it. So they think somebody tried to frame this as a murder-suicide, is what it looks like. And Grant's nowhere to be found.
Interesting.
Yep. They asked the neighbors. The neighbors heard gunshots, but that's not uncommon out in this rural area. They said there's gunshots all the time.
Right.
One person claimed to have heard 5 shots. Another person said, I don't know how many I heard. Another person said they heard 3 shots. Nobody fucking knows anything. Now, deputies said they had, quote, prior experiences with the residents of the home and knew that Grant Amato lived there. So there's been stuff going on here. That's what I mean. Maybe there was some domestic violence things that we don't know about.
I can't imagine Grant with all the strife is the word, right? All the trouble that he's had personally.
Mobb Deep lived the trife life.
Yeah, yeah. He's not kept that in between the laws of the lines of legality.
No, he's crossing the double yellow on that shit big time.
He's had some police involvement.
Fuck yeah. So they can't find Grant. Grant and his Honda Accord aren't there at all. And they talked to Cody's girlfriend, who tells them that the family was having trouble with Grant. They said, would you know where he is? And he said, no. He had stolen, by the way, $60,000 in the ballpark from Cody, including selling a bunch of his guns.
Right.
So they're like, there's been some beef here. Also, she said that Cody once told her that she was worried that Grant would, quote, kill everyone. She's worried. He was worried Grant would snap. That's why he's like trying to keep them all, in, all packed in soft material.
Nice, yeah.
So Grant's driving a 96 white Honda Accord in 2019.
Oh, it has really gone off the rails.
This is not good.
So much for matching Beamers.
Dude, why didn't he buy a decent car when he had a job with money?
Yeah.
Save a couple of guns and buy a half-decent car.
A 96 Accord, though, runs Those are great.
Oh, this is
cars.
a nice car, but I mean, the AC isn't good in that thing in Florida.
And he's changed the transmission by now. It's not a.
You want a GPS in your dashboard at this point, don't you?
Yeah. The AC warms up when you stop at red lights in that car, for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you turn the headlights on and it dies. So, the license plate L1GH7 kind of looks like light a little bit. Yeah. So they said Amato should be considered armed and dangerous. Anyone who spots him should call 911 immediately. And don't try to approach him. Even though he looks like a bald little weakling, he's still...
Even though he looks like a little weasel.
Yeah. So they talked to Jason, the third brother, who doesn't live here anymore.
Right, he left the area.
Jason said he wasn't close with his family, but he spoke with his mother about once a week. Yeah. And they said they asked him, if there's anyone who would want to harm his family, and he told them that Grant had been talking to a, quote, online call girl, which is the funniest way to put that ever. That's somebody who knows nothing about that type of shit, and he's just like, I don't know, some online call girl or something. That's
How
amazing.
about that, too? Not being the favorite son of a wealthy family, he's about to get everything.
No shit. Nobody left.
I'd arrest his ass right away.
Right,
sir. You got so much motive.
And they did look into him, and they talked to his girlfriend, and between his work and his girlfriend, he had a very tight alibi for the whole day. So they were talking.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked up. He was just, trying to get away from this stuff. Yeah. And they said that he'd been, wiring excessive amounts of money to her, and he wasn't sure if. He said, I'm not sure if Grant maybe owes her money. And they said, does she know the address? And he said, yes. Oh. That he's given her the home address, and she has mailed things to the house. So she has their address. Oh,
so he may have gotten some pussy on credit, and now
that's what Jason's thinking.
Oh, my.
She's collecting in blood here. So they said that he said he spoke to his mother on January 16th, so, less than 10 days earlier. She said everything was okay. Grant had been applying for a lot of jobs, and that he was trying to kind of reconstitute himself into the family, and things have been going better. So Jason also told detectives about the money that was stolen here and all that kind of thing. So, they're talking to him. They also had Jason go through the home to see if anything had been taken. Yeah. Is there anything of value missing? And he said nothing of value had been missing. There's at least 5 PlayStations in the house, by the way.
Wow.
96 Honda Accord, 5 PlayStations. See what I'm saying?
He's got more money in PlayStations than car.
Totally. Those are worth more.
Yeah.
4 computers, several TVs, safes, jewelry, everything. Nothing was taken from the home. So that's not a robbery. They also Jason found and handed over to the cops the list of rules Chad had given Grant, the handwritten pact there.
There it is.
So they got to find Grant. They put his car out on an APB, and so they find it. Where is he? A DoubleTree Hotel near the University of Central Florida, where he went to college. They find him at 7:45 a.m., and I've seen the footage from this, the cop body cam footage. Yeah. They go into the hotel, and it's like a hotel with elevators and hallways. It's not a, you don't open the door to the outside of your hotel room. So they go up and they ask like the people at the desks, they're like, are there anybody around these rooms? Call all of these rooms and tell people to come downstairs. But don't call that room.
Uh-huh.
Make sure you don't call that room, because they don't know if people keep saying he has guns. He has guns. So they don't want to have like a hallway shootout with somebody putting the room service tray outside when that happens, Or
worse, some lady riding her husband for their anniversary weekend, and he's
through the wall,
leaving shot. Shoots the poor lady. Jesus.
I made her come so hard her head blew up. What happened? Oh, shit, that's a hole.
Yeah, I still got it.
So they go in there. They take him to the ground and cuff him and all that kind of thing. He's very cooperative, but he's so calm.
Yeah.
They stand him up and he goes, I got like a duffel bag in there too. I don't know if you guys want to grab that and check it out or whatever. And they're like, well, we'll let the detectives figure that out. They only came to him because some detectives want to talk to him. He's not under arrest.
Oh, okay.
They just go to bring him in. So they found a note in the hotel room that said, I miss being home already, and it has already been 1 day since I was kicked out by Dad.
Okay.
That's what the note said. He writes a lot of weird little notes. They found another note in his car, and we'll give you the whole note in a minute here, but which appeared to be written from Cody's point of view. And it said, part of it is, Grant, I'll take care of all your problems. I just need you back. I can't live without you, brother. I said I'd take care of all your problems at the house, and I have. Like Cody wrote it. Like Cody shot his parents, wrote the note, and then killed himself, basically, is the implication here. This is written in Grant's handwriting. So they bring Grant in to have a little chat with him here, for sure. They ask him about his family life and his interests. By the way, it's a 4-hour-long interrogation. I've watched the whole thing. God. The first hour of it, you want to murder Grant just for his boringness. He's the most boring man, and you want to hear a complete dork talk about anime and fucking what he thinks about stuff and his dad's job and all this shit. It's the most boring shit you can imagine from this guy.
His Twitch stream.
His Twitch stream and how that didn't really work out and all that.
I mean, that's what this is.
It's kind of, yeah, it is his Twitch stream. And the cops have to do that, though, because they have to make him feel comfortable to talk. So they're trying to make him feel comfortable to talk. And they ask him, about dad. He said his dad was kind of abusive and controlling and overbearing. He said his dad would hit his mother. And he said, we heard mom yell, he hurt me. And then he would run downstairs and try to get dad off him, like we said before. He said he always made him feel bad. Dad always made him feel like Cody was doing better in life. He said he would make me feel like Cody is doing all this stuff and I'm not. Yeah, that's why.
Because he is doing it.
He's doing all this stuff and you're not. That's the problem. By the way, through all of this, through the takedown, the cuffing, bringing in here, sitting him down, he never once asks, hey, how's my family?
What am I here for?
Why am I here?
Yeah.
What happened to my family? Never once. Never once asked that. He just sits down and starts talking.
Because he already knows.
He knows. He said, over the past 4 months or something like that, I've been talking to this woman online. She's a cam model. By the way, the detective didn't know what anime was. So he's like, you're going to have to, I don't know what that is. Like animation, like cartoons? And he goes, no, it's a Japanese thing. He goes, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And he said, she's a cam model. And he goes, again, I don't know. Maybe I'm ignorant on this, but I don't know what that is. He goes, what's a cam model?
I was expecting you to go, and he knew exactly what that was.
No, he knew exactly what that was. He's like, oh, my free cams, Doc has me. I use that one too. It's good.
I got a few tokens I'm not using. Do you want them?
You can have them if if you talk to her in a while. Or actually, what's her screen name? I'm going to check her out when I get done with you.
I'll just send them to her for you.
You don't need this anymore. So they said that, he said, how much do you think you spent? And Amato said probably close to $200,000, which he knows it's more than $200,000. Right. So probably close to, He said, I know that spending that amount of money, it's idiotic, especially when you're not making it. Like you're not making big money to spend. Yeah, you can spend it if you're making it. If you're like a NFL quarterback, you can look at all the webcam girls you want. It's also crazy
to give that money when you're when you're not literally making it to get. Like you're not.
You're not actually.
You're not having sex. You're not in a relationship.
No, that is disturbing, man. It's like these jail relationships that we see on Love After Lockup all the time. It's very similar.
And they're jamming $50,000 into those people.
Yeah, at least you know where that person is.
Yeah, he doesn't know where she is.
No, she's in some Bulgarian warehouse somewhere. So they asked him about this. They start getting into the actual evening. They ask him, why he never asked them about his family members and their conditions during the interview. Right. Hey, we noticed that. Yeah. And he said, I just, I don't know. I was just asking. I was answering the questions I was asked, is what he said, basically. Like, shit, you guys are leading the interview.
It's a good point.
Yeah, it's true. By the way, he sat there for 4 hours. They offered him like a Coke. They offered him to go to the bathroom. He's like, I'm good. Nothing to drink. Not going to the bathroom.
No, I can sit for hours and pay attention to somebody.
For hours. And he's like, it's just great to sit. As a nurse, used to being up on your feet for 12 hours at a time. And it's like, you haven't had a job in months and all you do is sit on your ass and jerk off.
You're not used to anything.
Fuck, you're used to playing video games. So he said it took him a few hours to pack his things. He said the afternoon his dad got home and told him to fuck off. Yeah. So it took him a few hours to pack his things, and he says he left about 9:30 p.m., and he met Cody outside the neighborhood to tell him what happened. Yeah. But then he admitted later on in the interview that he lied. He left closer to midnight, and his brother was home. He didn't meet him out there. But the time of death, by the way, they're thinking the time of death for the parents, they think the mother was shot pretty fucking early.
I was just going to say, it sounds like she was first. He waited
By
for
far.
Dad to get home, got Dad, and then he called his brother and told him to come over, and he got his brother too.
We think he texted him from Dad's phone. That's what he did, saying come home. And
some shit
that's
happened.
What happened.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Because he's, by the way, we'll find out, he's using their fingerprints on their phones to open their phones up.
Oh, boy.
As we'll talk about. Why? Because now he can have access to their money.
Yep.
So he said that he lied. He said he claimed he spent the night in the parking lot of a nearby Publix before driving to a job interview the next day. You sleep in your car, then you go to a job interview. Okay. So they found the notes that, you know, the list of the father's demands. They found the note in his car. They asked him about that. And he admitted to a detective that he had written the note in the car saying, I just took care of everything for you. He said he was jotting down his recollection of the last conversation he had with his brother. They said, why? He said he couldn't explain why it was written in the first person from Cody's point of view. Didn't know. Don't know why I did that. So Grant's relatives told detectives they couldn't understand why he would have killed his brother. Donna said Cody would have spent his last dollar to save him. Makes no sense. Cody would be defending him right now. He would be paying for his lawyer. So they said they suspected that for some reason, he needed the brother. Basically, he needed to kill the brother to make it look like a murder-suicide was the point. So they said, what are you not telling us? What happened at that home that you know? And he never admitted to killing his family. He said they were still alive when I left the house. That's all he would say. They were still alive when I left. Everybody was still alive when I left. Then they showed him crime scene photos of his parents and his brother. And they said, do you regret doing this to each of your family members? And he said, no, I didn't do any of this.
Oh.
But he's so... Dude, there's not a break of up or down in him at all. He's this level, weird, calm, collected, strange. It's strange. Like, a lot of people call him creepy because they're just like, he's just creepy.
How are you not panicked that your family's dead, too?
Your family's dead and that you're being accused of killing them.
Right.
If you didn't kill your family, you'd be horrified and horrified in both circumstances. So they asked him, if you were the one that's been depressed, you were the one that owes money, you were the one who got into a confrontation with your father, who did this to your family? I don't know. He said, I just don't know.
Doesn't know.
Nope. They said, well, why didn't you try to get in touch with your family? Because he said he had returned to the neighborhood the next day to go to the house, but changed his mind last minute. And they said, well, did you see anything out of the ordinary? And he said, no. And then he admitted to seeing a cop car and a news van at the entrance of his home. Okay. They asked why he didn't try to get in touch with his family, and he had no answer. He just kind of shrugged. Yeah. Nothing. He said that he went to Panera Bread to use their Wi-Fi and found an online story about a shooting in the neighborhood. It appeared to depict his family's home. And so, they said, well, why didn't you contact your relatives or try to get any information on this? And he said, quote, I just didn't want to know.
Didn't want to know.
Yep. He said, yes, I did have the motive and the opportunity, but I didn't do it. Yeah. So they ask him about the note. He can't figure that out. Near the end of the interview, he said, they asked him about, why did you do this? And he said, I didn't do any of this. And they said, who else could have killed your family? And he said, I don't know. I've been getting blamed for the last half a year for everything, and I've been trying to move forward in a positive direction. And then every day I'm reminded of all the trouble that I caused. And I keep being told the same thing over and over again, that there's nothing I can do to change it. That's not an answer to who killed your family.
You can't get Oh, boy.
And then he said at one point, I keep getting blamed for everything, so you might as well blame me for this too.
Okay, we will.
That's not your mom. She's not. The cops aren't going to go, oh, it's okay, Grant. We didn't mean to upset you. They're going to go, yeah, we are going to blame you for this, stupid. So then they bring Jason in to talk to him.
Really?
His brother, yeah. And he denied killing his family to Jason. Jason said, I'm going to pray for you, brother, because I can't pray for Mom, Dad, or Cody anymore. And Jason also said, I want to believe you, Grant, but you're the last person I can put in that house. And I know what happened over the last 6 months. I can understand that trouble that you've gone through, but it's hard for me to think that you would break to this point. And Jason said, I may not have been able to stop you. You probably may have hurt me too, but at least I would have known what happened if I was there. Mm-hmm. And that's what he said. He left, never got Grant to say anything. As the cops are getting up, Grant asked the cops, what am I allowed to do? Because they don't arrest him.
Yeah. Can I
he's
play
like,
video games?
Yeah, can I do? And they said, live your life.
Yeah.
Again, we're not your fucking parents, stupid.
Right. We don't have an agreement with you.
They let him leave, release him from custody. They say he's cooperating with the investigation. Then on the 28th, they say that they have obtained an arrest warrant and they charge him. And they are going to arrest him without incident at 1 a.m. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the note in the car is a big deal because they're saying that that's proof that he was trying to frame his brother.
Right.
And look, I'll show you the note. I have it's in like, handwriting.
Yeah.
No one will ever bother you again regarding this. Just please come home. I can't do this again. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, they find out that in the fucking 2 days from when the family was dead till, when they arrest him, he attempted to cash in on the life insurance policy on his parents already.
Got to buy tokens, man.
Which was denied because, they were barely dead and he's the main suspect in the death, so they can't do that.
He was trying to get it in my webcam girl credit.
No shit. Then records they find, banking records, after the three of these people have been killed, after their bodies have been discovered by the police, one of the family credit cards was used to purchase $600 worth of tokens on My Free Cams.
Get out of here.
Yep. Fucking unbelievable. They also allege that after he killed Chad, Grant used his father's fingerprint to access his online banking app so he could transfer money.
Apple Pay or whatever.
Yep. Now they get the forensic electronics person in there. Mm-hmm. And they said they had number one, they found a thumb drive with many explicit pictures that were connected to Grant's computer at 11:32 p.m., the night of the killings. So well after everybody was dead. Oh, my God. Well after everybody was dead.
The night of it.
Night of it. 7 minutes later, Cody's iPhone was connected to Grant Amato's computer. Mm-hmm. So Cody's phone hooked up to Grant's computer. Yep. The trusting process, which is what they do to verify,
yep. You click it.
Yep, was not completed on the computer, indicating whoever connected the phone may not have been able to enter a passcode.
Ah.
At 11, meaning you need one for the computer. The phone might be open, but you need the password for the computer. At 11:42 p.m., the phone was put into recovery mode. Uh-huh. They said the technology person said, based on everything else I examined, I believe the person was trying to wipe the phone. So they go through the whole thing. This is Chad's phone. Chad was a diehard Florida Gators fan, so he spent his last afternoon alive on a Gator Chatter football forum.
Attaboy, Chad.
Where he argued with other people about quarterback Felipe Franks' passer rating jump in the 2018 season.
He's great. He deserves it.
Wow. Oh, that's what he likes. At 4:41 p.m., Chad was listening to Sean Hannity while driving home from work. Okay. At 5:24 p.m., the phone was unplugged from his car. Uh-huh. At 5:25, he took 67 steps, apparently walking into his home.
God, iPhones are amazing.
And that's when they think he was shot, right when he walked in his house.
Yep.
So they think mom was shot about 4:30, dad was shot about 5:30, and then
waited.
Cody was not till 9 something.
Yeah, he got online and fucked around.
Yep.
Wow.
So around that time, they said the next time the phone was unlocked, Chad's phone, dad's phone, was at 5:52 p.m. Somebody went into the preferences and the phone and then remained unlocked. They took off the password.
Passcode off. Yep.
Yep. So you could just open it. Around 9 p.m., Chad's phone received 2 incoming calls from Cody. Mm-hmm. So Cody called dad. Evidence of which had been deleted from the phone. At 11:28 p.m., the Safari web browsing app was pulled up on Chad's phone with somebody Googling how to wipe an iPhone without a passcode. Come on, man. At 12:08 a.m., the USAA banking app was accessed on Chad's phone using his fingerprint to open that. Yeah. They said it was possible to use a dead person's fingerprint to unlock an iPhone. It didn't know the difference. Yeah. They said that by the way, they said Chad's right index finger was noticeably less bloody than his other fingers.
Wiped it off.
Wiped clean, yep. They said that's how that works. So Everybody's a little freaked out by this now. It looks like it was
kidding.
pretty.
This
looks
cold as
very
fuck,
cold,
man. Yeah,
ice cold,
incredibly glacier. Cold.
He didn't kill 3 people at once and then drop to his knees in tears and then call 911 and said, "Oh my God!" He sat there and played video games and jerked off to a Bulgarian after this,
and polished bloody fingers to make it all happen.
By the way, their grandmother, this is Gloria Amato, said this that he stole money from. Quote, "That kid did it. Grant killed them. Get rid of these people. I will be free."
Is she saying if I get rid of these people, I'll be free?
That's him saying that.
That's his words, yeah, not her.
I think it's not her going, "Get rid of him. Fucking throw him away. I'll be free." And the horse people said that she's a part of our barn family and always will be.
Yeah.
So he wants bail.
Really?
Yeah, he wants bail. The prosecutor said everything points to this defendant in this case and nothing else. They said that the standard for denying bond is high, the defense said. It's beyond a reasonable doubt. It has to be a clear conviction of guilt, and we just don't think the state met that burden. We'll accept the decision if the judge decides not to free him, though. The judge says, "Get the fuck in jail."
We're not going to free him.
He writes a letter to his online community.
Oh, lady, listen, I got to talk.
It's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. It's his friends.
Yeah.
"Hey guys," I won't read the whole thing, but just the pertinent parts. "I was thinking of writing each of you individually, but I felt like it might be easier to reach everyone if I just did one message to the main group of guys that I got to know over the months. The purpose of this letter is an apology to you guys. Jim, Josh, Ian, Sven, Frank, and Wolf." There's always a wolf in the mix.
You can name everybody in your online community by first name, dude. Come on.
Very quickly. He said, "I think it's safe to say by now that everyone here knows I made a drastic mistake with Sylvie. I upset her, made her very sad, and ruined the end of December and beginning of January for her." That's his big mistake.
Sir.
Wow. I won't go into great detail because that's not the purpose of this message, but I lied to her and you guys from the beginning about myself. I'm not a professional gamer, did not own my own house, and did not drive a BMW. The major one here was gamer. I know that I at least told all of you guys that I was that, and while I did attempt to get into this Twitch gaming, it never took off like I had said. I have no excuses as to why I felt the need to do this from the beginning. I can only plead stupidity, and I felt intimidated from the onset of the room environment and felt like I had to be something far more unique than I was. While the money I have, tips I gave, and the way I was and am are my true personality and way of being, I could never escape the lies that I told at the very beginning because they became a topic of discussion either between Sylvie and I, which would spill over into the room like she always does, or it would be brought up by someone in the room like Tiger, Blue, etc. Okay. So he said, my whole plan was to start anew in January. I would drop the whole gamer persona and simply pursue my actual CRNA job as I had been more and more near the end of that year. The profession was going through a legal issue at the time, and that's why I began to pursue the whole gaming thing. Not the profession, you.
Yeah.
You were going through a legal thing where you got fucking fired.
And also, what about the murders, man? What are you talking about? This Twitch shit.
Nope, he goes into saying he was that this would not be subsequently ambushed me where I was staying and forcefully signed me into a clinic in Fort Lauderdale. That's the rehab he went to. It was Cornerstone, he says. They felt like I had an unhealthy addiction because of the type of profession Sylvie has and the quantity of money I spent in the span of 6 months.
6 months.
The profession she had isn't the problem. It's that you have to. Her profession is to take money from you.
Right. Yeah. You don't have a relationship.
That's fucking ridiculous. So, yeah, he goes on to just basically says, one, Jim, while it was always more of a joke than anything, you were really like the father of the room to me. I know I lied to you first about being a gamer, but everything else regarding how I felt about Sylvie, my concerns for her, and the many things I tried to do simply to make her smile were genuine. He basically gives everyone their own thing. Ian, you were always the kindest one in the room.
I miss you the most, man.
Oh, yeah. Sven, you were always my eyes of MFC.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Frank, I didn't get to know you as well as the rest, but I feel like we were getting to know each other a lot more near the end. Wolf, much like Frank, we never spoke a great deal outside of the room.
What is this?
It's an apology. He says, everyone, I ask forgiveness for my stupidity. Yeah. I made a terrible error. Never talks about murder.
Nothing. Just
I'm sorry for the length of this message. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Thank you for sticking with it till the end. If you guys have anything to say to me, you can always email me here or on Twitter. My parents deactivated my phone service and changed my phone number, so I have still been locked out of my regular Twitter accounts.
Wow.
Okay. April 26th here. A Seminole County judge grants him bond.
Why?
Says he can, if he does put up the money, he must wear a GPS monitor, live in Seminole County, and is not allowed to access electronics with data usage or internet access, and must surrender his passport. He also can't pay for the bond using any monies he may get from the deaths of his parents, like their life insurance or anything. The bond was set at $250,000 for each victim.
Oh, so
$750.
Yeah,
he's got no money, so he starts emailing reporters. WESH reporter Dave McDaniel. Amato said he wouldn't mind telling his story if he's able to bond out of jail.
Yeah.
He's like, he's trying to sell his story as an exclusive.
What an idiot.
Yep. The state attorney also released emails from Grant Amato while in jail. In their discovery, the prosecution found that this is something they thought was interesting. This is one of those, you're going a little too far. You have electronic data, just use that. They said the hint word for his email password was Shinigami, which means God or spirit of death that invites humans to their death. It's Japanese Grim Reaper, essentially, here. So they want to use that
as evidence?
As in their fucking case, which is stupid.
He's an anime guy. He probably has even darker words that he could have used.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So he tells this reporter, Dave McDaniel, I just want to feel the sun again, feel the breeze on my skin, feel the simple pleasures every innocent man feels.
Okay.
Wow. Another reporter, Vanessa Ariza, he asked her if they could offer anything in return for an exclusive interview. Mm-hmm. He asked also a guy who was going to make a documentary that's on Paramount Plus right now. Archdeacon is his last name. He said, do you know any millionaires that might be able to help me out?
Yeah.
He said, if you happen to know any who would like to post my bond, I'd be eternally grateful, and I'd give you exclusive rights to my story. No.
We don't know anybody.
No. He said, I was granted a bond on Thursday, but I don't know how I'll be able to pay it. If I could somehow post this bond and be free again, I wouldn't mind telling my story. So, he's exchanging with everybody here. Here is one he wrote to Vanessa Ariza there, the reporter. If I can somehow make the bond and get me out of this wrongful incarceration and be free again, I would want to tell my story. They say all these horrible things about me, and thankfully my attorneys were the best and got me this bond for an innocent man. So Colin Archdeacon is the guy who makes the documentary. And he tells, this is fuck. Amato wrote this, by the way. It seems to be my half-brother's mission to make my life much harder by not believing with me, communicating with me, or helping me, even after I was blessed with a very high bond. Interesting. So his brother's not putting up his bond for him, is what he's saying. Yeah. He's not going to put his house up for you. No, you fucked everybody else.
Yeah. Nobody's blessing you for your blessings.
No. So he wants the shit from the email to be tossed before trial. He also wants anything they found in the house to be thrown out because he says that it was an illegal entry.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was a well-being check. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's what he says. The judge says, no, it was pretty good. We found dead people. It's fine. So, they talk about also their email addresses and all that sort of thing. By the way, the Honda Accord license plate is a personalized plate.
It does mean light?
It's, that I guess, because his email address is gamatolight@gmail.com, which is, and I guess Cody Amato's character always was 0. That's all his stuff. Yeah. That's how that goes. So, friends say that in a pre-trial hearing, Grant said, by the way, that the Shinigami things, that's something his brother did, and he's trying to say like his brother is shady.
Okay.
And then his friends, though, testify at that hearing saying that's a lie. He lied about, and they literally have a fucking hearing to have a bunch of nerds parse fucking meanings of anime shit. And they had to have some 70-year-old judge sit up there going, all right, I have no idea what anyone's talking about. Now, for the trial, 12 jurors, 8 men and 4 women, obviously, here, adding up to 12. The defense is that they said that he's made good grades in school. His lawyers, say that he wrote an apology letter as proof in their case, and so that's, for something else.
Yeah.
He's a good kid. Yeah, he's not a bad kid, and we should be nice to him. So they also pushed for him to undergo a brain scan before trial. Really? Not to show that he's crazy. They don't want to say he's insane. They say, we're trying to show that he's normal. They therefore would never have committed this crime.
Oh, well.
We're trying to show he's cold-blooded and maniacal, not
that can backfire fast.
That seems very dumb.
Yeah.
Death penalty very much on the table.
Absolutely.
Here, by the way. Yeah, the prosecutor said that he acted in a cold, calculated, premeditated manner without any pretense of moral or legal justification. Mm-hmm. I would say so. But the attorney, the defense attorney said there's some issues here. I think we have some mental health issues. I don't think they'll execute him. So the prosecution says that he killed mom because she was there. Yeah. He said, why mom? Because she was there. That's why. He couldn't let her live. Okay. He said he spent the whole day there. He shot her while she sat at her computer at 4:45 because that was like her last keystrokes. Yeah. So they know right when it happened.
Golly.
She was found face down on her computer desk, and they said for 4 hours. Then he shot his dad an hour later. Mm-hmm. Then for 4 hours, he sat there with the dead bodies of his parents waiting for his brother to come home. He said, by any definition of the word cold, these murders were cold. Mm-hmm. Yep, and the defense says, that's a pretty good point. That's not good. But we don't like your timeline. They say your timeline is all off because the girlfriend said that Cody spoke with his father after 9 p.m., so he must have been alive. No. He got texts from his dad, and then his dad, no.
He didn't speak to his dad at all.
No, he tried to call his dad, and dad didn't answer. So then they bring the forensic electronics person in, and they say all the stuff I told you before about all the times.
It's not him.
During a cross-examination, Amato's lawyer asked this person whether the forensic technology person was present at the house at the night of the killings, and she said no, obviously. Right. So the lawyer said, you don't know who plugged the phone in and all that? And she said no. He said, you don't know this and that? They said no. And the lawyer said, so you're engaged in mind reading, is that correct?
No.
You're just saying it was my client? It's like, well, he was the only one alive in the house, so probably.
Why would the guy that owns the phone inquire how to wipe his own phone?
That's the dumbest thing ever.
Right.
So now the defense says there was poor police work, saying the investigators did not do enough to consider other suspects or adequately process the crime scene. They didn't process the home's door handles or garage keypad for fingerprints or any other evidence. Okay. They focused on him. But then the jury saw a video, also his interrogation video, a bunch of videos between him and Sylvie. Right. They saw one where he appears to be outside of his home on the way to check the mail, pleading with Sylvie to send him free videos.
Give me a discount. Come on.
This is the weirdest shit ever. This is so pathetic. Are you ready to hear the most pathetic thing you've ever heard?
I think so, yeah.
I'm asking you if you can pretty please send me one of your videos. I love it so much when you just send it to me. I don't like buying your stuff. It makes me feel weird. Like you're not my girlfriend and stuff.
Makes me feel like a customer.
Fuck me. By the way, they never find the murder weapon, ever.
Really? Well, I mean,
they never find it.
He was gone for a while, but he's treating her like a friend that works at McDonald's. Could you give me a Big Mac? Come on, just hook me up.
Come on, just hook me up, man. I got $2. He sounds like fucking Menace to Society crackhead. Come on, man, hook me up.
When I buy it, I feel gross.
Yeah, just
when it's free, it tastes so much better.
It's so much better free. I don't even care if it's one of the cold ones you're going to throw out soon. The defense attorney said, that's funny. This is in his closing argument. He said, gee, that's funny. Now the brother is all thinking, Grant is behind this now. The police think he's all behind it. That's funny. When they brought him in and sat him in a room for 7 hours, they let him go. They said they didn't think he did it. They said, and did my client flee? No. They said he could have been halfway to Bulgaria by the following morning.
Why did you say Bulgaria?
Well, on purpose.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Grant, he said he was cooperative, and this is ridiculous. The jury comes in with the verdict of guilty.
Yeah.
He's fucking guilty. Yeah.
What are you talking
He's real
about?
guilty. Yeah. Super guilty. It looks terrible that he then accessed banking and shit like that. It's not good. Extra fucking salt in the wound. During sentencing, Cody's girlfriend said it's been devastating for all of us. It's difficult to accept that he was only 31 and he will never be any older.
Oh, boy.
His half-brother Jason said, one of the biggest things I miss is being able to talk to my mom. It's been 208 days. He said, though they're gone, I want everyone to know that Chad, Cody, and Margaret were amazing people. And then the defense asked Jason if he still loved Grant, and he said, yes, he does.
Yeah, of course.
Prosecution here, they listed a variety of factors. I mean, just holy shit.
Yeah.
Because in the sentencing with the death penalty, the defense says, well, he's a Christian. Yeah. He was a good student.
Right.
He was a nurse who dedicated his professional life to providing health care, lack of disciplinary history while in jail. Mm-hmm. They said also was brother and best friend of Cody, which is the worst, in my opinion.
Yeah, he said, but he did it. So, yeah.
Wow. So they heard from a psychiatrist who was called by the defense who said Grant would be well suited to a life in prison and present a very low probability for any major form of acting out or management problems while incarcerated. Okay. So they say, you, sir, may fuck off 3 life sentences without parole.
Okay. Well,
no death penalty.
Okay.
Wow. That's weird. You would imagine in Florida that would be death penalty.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm on I'm on the fence.
It's pretty cold. It's pretty fucking cold, man.
This whole thing dude.
This is cold shit, dude.
Yeah,
his own.
Yeah, people murder to like
for
rape,
money.
and people do like. This might be scummier because it's just like
it's your family and it's for money.
You
and
murdered
it's
your
gross.
whole family to chat with a Bulgarian girl.
It's so fucking weird.
Like what? How'd you think you were going to get away with that?
That's what I'm wondering.
And then what?
Then what's the next step?
Right.
Oh, they'll never know. I don't know. I guess blame it. Murder-suicide. The defense attorney said, I considered it a huge victory. I've never been around a defendant with such a lack of emotion. So when so much is on the line and it's your life, there was no breakdown crying. There was no hugging or turning or hugging me because I saved his life. It was just standing there, straight face, no emotion. That's how he always is.
He just shrugs.
So he starts serving at Tomoka Correctional Facility in Daytona Beach. Yeah. He's going to appeal, and that's fucking denied. So I'm going to get that right out of the way. And then talk about Control, Alt, Desire. That's the name of the documentary.
Okay.
That was made. Colin Archdeacon made that.
Control, yeah, got it.
Yeah. And they say it's a documentary about, we know this guy did it, and here's the layout. It's like the Murtaugh documentary, basically. It's the same type of thing. It's a 3-parter. It's pretty well done. I'll give the guy credit. He did a good job. It's his directorial debut, and he did a good fucking job. So not bad. But the problem is it's kind of like a million other documentaries. It's a 3-parter. It's that sort of shit here. But Grant is in it through the whole thing. He's talking to Grant. He's talking to everything. And we'll find out, but he pisses off the Archdeacon guy too. He has relationships in prison. Tons of women are talking to him.
Really?
Yes. And he says they're all like true crime. He called them true crime junkies. Mm-hmm. And they all want to talk to him, all these women. He said they're all really disappointed when he's not like this drooling monster that they want him to be. They want him to be like a psychopath and be like dark and say weird shit.
Sorry, girl.
And he's a fucking dork to the nth degree, just a dork. Yeah. And he said they all get disappointed in me. And he goes, it kind of hurts my feelings if they're all real interested in me. And then, they find out I'm just kind of normal and then they don't like me anymore.
They find out a Bulgarian was interested in me, but then they find out it was only for the money. And then now they see why.
Yeah, no shit. He said he's become somewhat of a celebrity.
Well, I just heard of you, bud.
Yeah, well, there's an online true crime shit. They talked about this incessantly. It's a lot. So he said that he wrote a letter here, and he said that my time in jail has been nothing but depressing because of many factors. Yeah. He tells this woman that he knows the pain of being separated from the woman you love. And he says that he and his cellmate have bonded over their shared histories of working in the medical field. When the cellmate shared that his girlfriend was pregnant, Amato said every inmate in their pod guessed at the baby's gender. Isn't that adorable?
Then we had a gender reveal.
Prison games. When the news that the baby came, he's this big smile on everybody's face, and he wrote the woman a letter saying, very happy for you and all this type of shit. So he has a girlfriend while he's in jail.
Stop it.
Oh, yeah. One of these girls from the outside, there's an interview with her in the documentary. She saw all of his anime boxes in his room and was smitten.
Oh.
She's like, oh, he's just like me.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said like he likes the more stuff like that I like he went to Japan and was into that stuff.
Uh-huh.
And according to Gran, he spent most of his time in his room playing video games, and, all that kind of thing. So she said that lifestyle she liked, and she related throughout most of everything about him. She said, my parents pretty much spoiled me, I guess. I guess I turned out a little bit better, but I first got in touch by writing him physical letters.
Unreal.
Yeah. She said, we talk every day, all the time. Like, how are you? And all this type of shit. Saying hi, then I'm thinking of you. Then I can't wait to see you and talk to you tonight because you're my precious little key. I don't know why they kept saying that. I guess to the outside world. Yeah. I love you. Shit like that. Yeah, she said that I wouldn't say that, he's like a bad person, she says, which is pretty fucking funny. And she says that he totally fell in love with me. Probably, I think that everybody usually does, so I'm not surprised. This is what this girl said. Mm-hmm. And they said, what are you talking about? And she said, well, most from me, my online persona, I guess, they fall in love with that. She said, I kind of feel like I don't want people to look at me. I kind of blend in the outside world. But then online, I'm this different person.
Yeah.
I'm the center of attention.
Right. Because
she says.
Fake it. Right.
Yeah. And so she says, and then there's this fucking video of him talking to her about getting pictures saying that, oh, man, that's probably one of the sexiest ones I've ever seen because I love you in stockings and I got to see your legs and all this stuff. You're just so adorable. You're the best out of all of them by such a freaking landslide, he said.
Freaking landslide.
A freaking landslide. I just love you so much. I really do. He at one point
freaking
says,
love you.
He says, quote, I love you 5 ever. Which 4. Is one more than 4 ever. 5 ever. Which, even if he wasn't guilty, we should put him in prison for the rest of for 5 ever in prison. Fucking idiot. So
he's so immature.
He's so immature. He claims that Sylvie wrote him a physical letter too. And the filmmaker asked him, is this real? And he goes, oh yeah, this is a real letter. Saying, my light. This may seem out of the blue, but I do not have any excuses for the separation that has existed. The circumstances of your life became what they are. You're still the only man to treat me the way you did. You made me feel like a little girl again. Blah, 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 blah.
A man wrote that to him.
Yep. Jesus Christ. Then, during the documentary, while he's on the phone with this fucking guy in a video chat, the guy says, I heard the news that your appeal got denied. And he said, yeah, it was flat out 100% denied. They just said, that must be tough for you. Fuck off, basically. Yeah. He said, it sucks because, you come to a point in your life where you've been beat down or you've just lost so much over and over and over again. And it's so hurtful that that's part of what my life is boiled down to. He says nothing. He says, I don't want to keep wearing masks anymore or keep anything up, anything false. So I just had the realization that I've helped out well. And then he has a pause. And the guy says, you're being both profound and ominous right now. Is there anything you want to say to me before this call? Because they say 1 minute left on the call. You get the 1 minute left on the prison call. And he said, I just want to say I appreciate the professionalism and everything and the respect and, everything that you've given me. And then they get the 1 minute remaining. He said, so basically the entire time I've been accepting my innocence, or I've been saying my innocence for the sake of my future with appeals process and everything else like that. He said, But, I feel like it's important to you and just for other people in general that I actually tell the truth. The truth is that I did commit those crimes, and I did do it.
Yeah, we know.
He actually says it. He said those murders, and that's obviously currently what I'm dealing with right now. So they said, holy fuck, yeah, he did it. He said he did it. He said that Margaret was playing Candy Crush.
Oh, boy.
And that's his girlfriend said, that's just so sad because that's like a real mom Facebook-y type thing to do. Then he says, can you tell me where the gun is? And he says, yeah, sure, it's buried. And he tells him where it's buried. Uh-huh. And the cops go looking for it. He goes looking for it. They never find it. Wild goose chase.
Wow.
So we don't know if he lied or if he fucked up of where he buried it.
Yeah.
But we think he lied. I'm going to give Grant the last words here because they're very ridiculous too. He said, he said, to this day, it's Cody that I miss the most.
Grant.
He just is in love with Cody, man. If he could live his life talking to the Bulgarian girl all day and hanging out with Cody, and that he'd have been the happiest guy in the world.
Wow.
Fucking weirdo. So, everybody,
Jesus,
that is Florida.
Man.
That's a lot of Florida right there. And we could have made that episode could have been 4 hours long. I'm not even kidding you. I had just a plethora of information. That's the most pertinent there.
But it's shocked.
He never shuts the fuck up. He never stops writing things. He never stops talking. So this could have gone on forever. But that's Florida. If you like the show, tell everyone you ever fucking come in contact with about it. Get on also whatever app you're listening on. Give us 5 stars. It helps a lot. Say something nice about the show. Tell us what your favorite anime is. I don't like anime is just fine, by the way, to say, if you don't like anime.
I'm an adult.
I'm an adult American man or woman or whatever. So either way, do that. It helps us out a lot. Also, shutupandgivememurder.com is where you get all of your tickets for live shows. Minneapolis, September 20th, State Theater, big, beautiful theater.
Let's do it.
Come strong and make it our biggest show ever. You can do it. You can beat Chicago if you sell this out. And everyone will say, what's your biggest show ever? And we'll go, fucking Minneapolis. They rock. Yeah. So thank you. Also, Austin, Boston, Oklahoma City, Kansas City, and Terrytown, New York. So get your asses in there and get those tickets right now before they're all gone because they're going quick. Some of these shows are almost sold out. So do that now and get in there. Also, you definitely want to follow us on social media. We are on, Instagram. We are at Small Town Murder. We are at Small Town Pod on Facebook. We are at Murder Small on Twitter. So do that. Listen to our other 2 shows, Crime and Sports and Your Stupid Opinions. Right. You definitely want to listen to those. And also, if you know what, just make sure. Go into your fucking Apple thing. If you've had an update soon or if you're a new listener and subscribed in like the last 6 months, go to the upper right-hand corner, the ... Click on that. Make sure your automatic downloads are on because they turned them all fucking off on everybody.
Fucking weird.
People have complained to us about it, that where's my episode? It didn't pop up. And then also it fucks up our numbers too because it's like people are like, where is it? You haven't put out an episode in 3 weeks. Yes, we have. Check your shit.
All 3 weeks.
It's a lot. So it drives us crazy. So hit your automatic download and it'll help everybody out a little bit better. Do that. Patreon.com/CrimeInSports is where you get all of your bonus material. Anybody $5 a month or above, you're going to get immediately hundreds of episodes of back bonus shit you've never heard before. New ones every other week, including this week. What you're going to get is 1 Crime and Sports and 1 Small Town Murder. And you get all of it. That's it. That's how we do things. We're not breaking it up into shows and making you pay extra. $5, shitload of content. That's how it works. This week, what you're going to get for Crime and Sports, we're going to talk about fireworks accidents.
Right.
Because it's the 4th of July coming up. So why not put out fireworks accidents? See how that goes. We'll talk about our own fireworks accidents.
We're ruined by it.
See who's missing an arm. We'll find out. Then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about the real Tombstone and the people involved in the real Tombstone, the real Wyatt Earp and the real Doc Holliday and the real Cowboys, all that fun shit. And we'll find out how that all worked out. That's patreon.com/crimeandsports. And you get a shout out at the end of the show, which, by the way, is right fucking now. Jimmie, hit me with the names of the most wonderful goddamn people on the face of the earth that we can't live without.
This week's executive producers are Gary Howard, about to be a grandfather. Look at that.
Hey, congrats, Gar. Thanks, brother.
As a kid, old enough to have a kid
doing
and
that
stuff. Good for you.
Congrats for you.
Yeah. Tarnia Goodsell and Rob Wilson's 30th anniversary. Congratulations.
Wow,
That's
not
fun.
bad. You made
S.J.
it, folks.
Surridge. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you.
It's so nice to have you. Bridget Burns. Bridget Burns. Thank you so much. She just found the podcast.
Oh,
and,
well.
Got to thank her. That's very nice of her. She
with
sent
us.
money because she wanted to thank us, so we'll thank her.
Well,
Other
thank
producers
you.
this week are Liz Vasquez, Peyton Meadows, Jarrett Watts, and his turd daughter, Mara.
I love that. That's good. I love picking on your kids. That's fun.
Janice Hill, Eddie Fox, Z Freelance, Rhonda Morris, Kara Hyman. Hyman.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
You're tempting
Patty
us.
Simpson. Sharon with no last name. Anya Naraka. Aaron Moore. Dana McCall. Daniel Carlson.
Tempting us to make a joke, by the way, not to get some kind of weird.
Yeah.
You get it.
Yeah. John Bridgman, Dallas Roberts, Lori Keel, Evan Thomas, Mike with no last name, Zachary Ferrari. I don't think that's right. That's got to be.
Cool. I'm Zach Ferrari. Nice to meet you.
I think that's an autocorrect. Hank Jenkins, Hannah Bishop, Bailey Nelson, Madison Goodrich, Danny Tromboli, Ortega, Butch H., Brooke Flowers. Oh, did I say Brooke or Butch? I said Butch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Butch and Brooke are right next to each other, so it fucks my brain up.
happens.
Ryan Savino, Daniel with no last name, Anne-Marie Miller, Sam with no last name, Julie K., Elsa Heglin, Pope Francis. I doubt it, but that would be fucking
great.
amazing.
Let's get some of that Vatican money. Fucking hand it over.
Send me some of your water. I want to gargle it. Well, that sounded all right. Emily Stimbarsky, Peggy Slamp, Blakely Tatuska, Frank Blank, Elsie Ibarra, Stephanie Taylor, A Work in Progress. Oh, that's a wrestling podcast. Do you get it?
Oh,
do you see the play
yes,
on
yes.
words? Yeah, it's not bad.
They're
That's
working
very
it.
impressive.
They're working
Yep.
it.
Michael Martin, Hayden Lucas, George with no last name, Sarah Hullum Sullivan, Lori Quinters, Sue with no last name, Brad Anderson, Ryan Thomas, Mikey with no last name, Megan T., Brian Odell, Julie Reidsma, Deborah Waddell, Tracy with no last name, Mama Shark, David Bailey, Charles Breen, Shayna Kilby, yes, EMS Rusty, John Glover, Mary Porter, Ree with no last name, maybe Ray, I don't know, I'm not sure, it could be a Drummond, Ozzy Mozzie.
No.
She is the 28th largest landholder.
Oh, yeah. We figured it out one time, the exact percentage of Oklahoma she owned.
It's too much.
It's like 3% of Oklahoma or
it
some
should
crazy
be illegal.
shit.
It's
a
crazy.
lot.
And I've heard of how she got it. Cindy
Oh, yeah.
Love, AGB, Valerie Bilgery, Luke Gilson, Christy McCaskill, maybe, Heather Heine, could be Heine. Livy Talon, David with no last name, Lisa Marie, D.A. Swift Studio, Logan Tasha Nanababa. All right. Nan Baba. Tasha Nanbaba. Okay. Kate, I spent way too long trying to figure that one out. Kate Worry, Cassandra Sheely, Austin Byers, Carl, Carrie Tujdowski, Taylor Greer Philip Bear. What? Greer Philip Bear. I think Philip Bear is another person. Claire Marks, James Walsh, Victoria Olson, Christina De La Luz, Michael Collier, Tara O, Kalita Riley, Ian Holt, Ryan with no last name, Nolan Hildebrand, Brendan Paramus, Courtney Phelps, Sue DP, Taylor with no last name, Lori Coble, Shelley Basie maybe, the letter C, Moore, last name Moore, Stephanie with no last name, Rebecca Mueller, Caroline Jennings, Andrea Smith, Ace Flacco, Lindsay Wharton, Christian Albrecht, Ian Wright, Ian Wright, IAIN, is that Ian? What is that?
Yeah, that's English Ian, British
Holy
Ian.
fuck, Ian, that's crazy.
In the UK, they add an extra letter to confuse us Yanks.
Breaks my fucking... All right. Evelyn Patch, Lauren Dill, John Helms, Jacob Keefe, Joseph Balk, Matt Johnson, Mary with no last name, Caroline McKinney, Kendra Taylor, Tracy Hinton, Chase Bessenot, Gina, Crystal Bart, Crystal, like the booze, Katie Hubbard, Clips album. What is this? Catherine Carlson, Otter Leonard, 23 Bosworth What the fuck is that? Is that a fucking CB handle?
Sounds like a password that's given you automatically generated.
Otter Leonard, 23. Luciana, Laciana, Ginyard. W. Elizabeth Scheidegg. Eric Brooke, what is Eric Brown? And then Brooke Primley. Kelly Lind, Kimberly Dart, Matthew Clark, Len Nicolosi. Heather M. Jeff Jetty, Trent Arnold, Adam Rosenall, Garrett Godin, Heather Hayes Kitts, Erica G, Tara Evans, KB Lovelock, Megan Byram, Lindsay Ellis, Jeffrey with no last name, Julie Brooks, Cassandra Felker, Holly Chai, maybe Shy, B and P, the letters B and P, brought to you by them. Chelsea Seaton, Austin Letterly, Devin Kindle, Kimberly Thompson, Sean Tyler, Jesse Conrad, Mandy Harris, Amber Boatwright, Dow with no last name, Deb with no last name, Ryan Schroeder, maybe Schrader, Christina Tram, Madison Gavin, Michelle Jones, Lori White, Angel Ledford, Bailey Ashley, Eric Garver, and all of our patrons. You're fucking incredible.
Thank you, you fantastic, wonderful,
unreal,
insane, beautiful sons of bitches. We love the fuck out of you. Thank you for doing all that. Thank you for hanging out with us. You want to follow us on social media, shutupandgivememurder.com has drop-down menus that can take you directly to those places. Keep doing that. Keep hanging out with us. Tell all your friends. Share all the shit on social media. And until next week, everybody, it has been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.